Hello everyone, and welcome to the second qualifier of the Eternal Challenger League Season 2. today we have some pretty serious competition, so I'm really excited for you guys to see this. It's going to be a fierce showdown, and welcome. Hey guys, I see you guys in chat. It's going to be fun. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. So for today, in the round one, we have the Gobbo King facing off against Lumberjacks. So it's going to be, I guess, a friendly clan war between those two because they are in the same clan. And then in the second match, it's going to be El Halcon versus A-Move Hacker. So the two first matches are going to be best of threes, and it's going to be followed up by a best of five finals, which is the standard format for the Eternal Challenger League. So hopefully you guys are ready for this. Just a bit of a recap for anyone who missed last week. The Eternal Challenger League is an 8-week season, so there's going to be 8 qualifiers in total, and each individual who wins one of these qualifiers is going to be earning a place on the tablet of Tehedwin. And you can see last week Zyphos was our first winner, so Zyphos is going to be earning a ticket to the grand finals of the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, which is going to be a big old 8-man style tournament, very much in the same light as the Ever-Chosen Invitational. So yeah, it's fun. Welcome, guys. Welcome. King Ajazal coming in with the 3-3-3, hoping we get to see Mama Marathi for Mother's Day. Perhaps we will. Perhaps we will. So on that note, guys, I think it's about time. We're going to jump over to the first battle round, which is going to be the Gobbo King facing off against Lumberjack. So you can see we have this badass Chaos Blocker here, which is a little bit different than usual. And oh yeah, it's time. It's go time. Start when ready. We'll let the players know it's time to start. Come one, come all, gather around for the Eternal Challenger League Season 2. Raise your steel chairs. Yes. Oh, I got to get a steel chairs emoji. How do I not have that? That seems like heresy. Yeah, the Gobbo King is going to be playing. He's I've been seeing him in a couple tournaments, I think, or at least he plays very competitive stuff on his channel. So yeah, it's good to have him back for sure. It's going to be fun. King Ajazal says, and his instant second donation for the Gobbo King. Well, thank you so much, man. It's going to be great. I'm excited to see the showdown. We got some seriously good players here today. So there's going to be some close matches, I'm sure. So round one is going to be the Gobbo King on the new and improved Skaven facing off against the Greenskins. Now, I do think this is a pretty tough matchup for the Greenskins. Now, granted, I don't know, Greenskins have some really good tools for swarming. They have like cheap shielded infantry. They have some really good options against the new Skaven guns. Some of the things I think they do have issues with are like Doom Players and Doom Wheels and those big terror-causing monsters. But again, they have trolls. They have stuff. It's just Greenskins are a bit of a tough faction to play. But I guess Skaven were before as well. Yes, Prince Tyrion. It is a fun intro for sure. So on that note, let's go ahead and get rid of this Chaos Blocker here. Make sure he's paid his dues. And we're getting ready for game one here. So it's going to be the Greenskins, and as can be expected, we are on Pillar of Bone, which is a relatively small map, so I don't think that Skaven artillery builds using like play claw catapults and things like that are going to be super efficient on a map like this. As such, you can see both players, I mean, there's a couple range tools here for the Gobbo King, but for the most part, it's going to be a pretty aggressive build. He does have double Plague Furnace here, so actually the Plague Furnace, which is going to be a Gracier with Lore of Ruin, and then he has a Plague Priest, which is going to be on the Furnace. So only one of them has the Mortis Engine effect, which is the Plague Furnace. So it's going to be the Plague Priest variant. But yeah, it's going to be a scary little army for sure. And he doesn't have too much to protect. He just has Rattling Guns, Weapon Team in the back. So those guys are, he only has to allocate resources to protect 2 units, which is probably going to allow them to be pretty free-firing throughout this game. Now for the forces of the Greenskins, let's go ahead and take a look. Over here in the corner, we do have the Goblin Great Shaman. So coming in with the Wolf. Look at this hero of the Greenskin Empire. He does have the Itchy Nuisance and the Vindictive Glare, so it looks like he's going to be trying to snipe some Rat Lords. Always a good time. And of course, Sneaky Stabbin'. And for the rest of his army, he's just going super wide, which I think is the way to do it against Skaven. Nasty Skulkers, Night Goblin Archers here in the back. 2 groups of Goblin Wolf Chariots, which I'm a huge fan of in the Skaven matchup. They're very cheap, very cost efficient against like low tier infantry, Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats, even against like elite Skaven infantry. These guys can do some work, so I really like this pick here from Lumberjacks. On top of that, he does have more Gipinji Marauders and the Death's Creepers. So a solid little Greenskin army for sure. In the back, he's going to be doing some Vanguard deployment with Night Goblins, so looks like we're going to get some pretty hot action here. For the Gobbo King, here in the front line, facing off against his own people. He does have Skaven Slaves here in the front. In the secondary line, he's got Clan Rats, Storm Vermin. It looks like he does also have some Plague Monks on the far side. The Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, as well as the Council Guard. So going to be trying to make sure that his lord doesn't get sniped out by Goblin Big Bosses or, Greenskin Warrior Chiefs. Or Warrior Characters, I should say. Warrior Chief sounds right. But yeah, these guys are pretty solid. Unbreakable. Most Skaven armies do kind of buckle and run under a lot of pressure, but these guys are going to hold, provide Guardian, and do some good stuff. In the back, 2 Rattling Gunners like we saw. Rattling Gunners are pretty damn mean. I mean, if they're able to get on their appropriate targets, they can just Shrek things super hard. He's got Rat Ogres in the back and just Slaves and Spears all around the backside of his army. So the Gobbo King, of course, being a savvy veteran of many Goblin Wars, I think is very, very aware that there's going to be some sort of sneaky Goblin pressure coming around. And in the back, he does have, Skaven Slaves mostly, but look at this. The Goblins are just going to be coming in with the metaphorical chair, trying to take down their own king. So it looks like there is a little bit of a civil war or revolt amongst the Goblins, going to be trying to take out the Gobbo King. So we're going to see how it goes. Yeah, this is going to be great. Gobbo King squashing some Goblin rebellions. Perhaps. We're going to find out. I do like his build quite a bit. I think the furnaces are going to be super tough to deal with, because if you overinvest in taking out Skaven gun lines and things like that, oftentimes you're not getting enough resources to take out the big stuff. And it looks like the battle's underway, so the wah has been popped in chat, not the actual wah. You can see Lumberjacks dropping a glorious wah here in the group chat. And the frontline fighting is going to be underway. Skaven Slave's going to be taking some poking, withering fire from the Teeth Robbers. Or Teeth Robbers. Teeth Robbers. So the Teeth Robbers probably going to be slamming into the front line right now. I mean, they could get into some of these slaves and clan rats and these other troops, but it looks like some ammunition is being wasted here on top of the Skaven Slaves. But the Goblin Wolf Chariots are going to be piling in, but the Goblin King is going to be surging forward, taking a bit of an aggressive posture here. So Wolf Chariots coming in, this is what they're designed for. Just killing Skaven Slaves, low tier troops. They probably already have a couple kills. You can see that's some pretty good value. But the Rattling Guns, oh man, just going to town here on the Goblin Great Shaman. Thankfully, the Goblin Great Shaman is at maximum range, and it looks like he's doing a little bit of strafing, so he's not going to be taking huge damage. And on the far side, the Greenskins are going to be swarming in with everything. So the Goblin Wolf Chariot piles in. The Squig Hoppers get caught a little bit out of position here by these Rat Ogres, and it looks like he's going to be trying to slip it in here with these Forest Goblins, getting into the back of these Rattling Guns and some of these other troops. But yeah, the Greenskins just swarming from all angles. A very, very micro-intensive army. So you can see Forest Goblin Spider Riders on the other side. You have Night Goblins pouring down the hill, which are easily going to make quick work of these Clan Rats. And the Goblin King, realizing that all the pressure is pretty much on the backside, is going to be pulling his Rattling Guns weapon team, and he's going to be pulling them behind these halberds and these elite troops here. So the wah has been popped. The Forest Goblin Spider Riders and the Night Goblins, they're just going to be swamping in, trying to get past the Clan Rats. These Night Goblin Squig Hoppers not having a great time against Rat Ogres, but for the most part, the battle seems to be pretty even so far. Goblin King doing a good job repositioning, getting his forces protected. He has halberds standing on top of his Rattling Gunners. A little bit obstructed, but nonetheless, it's going to be tough to get into this cookie jar. So the Orc Archers are going to be shooting into the Plague Priest, trying to take that bad boy down, and some Forest Goblin Spider Riders actually get caught up on Stormvermin, which is not the best engagement for those guys, but the Wolf Shaman hiding in the trees, waiting for an opportunity to strike, a very, very goblin thing to do. And it looks like the Durkid Squig Hoppers, or some of these Squig Hoppers, just standard ones, are trying to get on the Grey Seer. So far, the Skaven seem to be holding pretty well. The Rattling Guns weapon team, one of them is still firing at full capacity, just mowing down the Depths Creepers right here. But this is a very, very good situation for Lumberjacks. He's able to get the Nasty Skulkers and company, pile in on top of the Rattling Guns weapon team, and also get that really good AP on top of the Council Guards. That is a beautiful, beautiful engagement there, but it looks like Goblin King might be retorting with some Warp Lightning, so going to be zapping some of these Goblins right here. So taking out his own people a little bit harsh there. But the Bounce Fire is actually going in the favor of the Skaven. It looks like it's pretty damn close for sure. But the Goblins seem to be kind of wearing down against the walls of the Skaven. The Goblin Wolf Chariots, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are having a really, really hard time getting through this bastion of heavy armor. The Grey Seer has 100. The Plague Priest has 100 when he's not sundered. There's Stormvermin here, there's Elite Halberds here, so the Elite troops seem to be giving the Greenskins quite a bit of trouble. Rattling Guns weapon team, still have 19 models right here, these bad boys are online, and I think the other group on the far side was able to stabilize with the help of this Grey Seer right here, this Plague Priest, and it looks like those guys are going to be coming back online. Now some Goblins are going to be surging in, and the Bounce Power is just ever so slightly in the favor of the Skaven. Greenskins could certainly come back here. So the Warlord's boys going to be grinding through the front line, getting some decent damage against the Stormvermin, and it looks like the Orc Archers and Goblin Archers are back online, going to be shooting at the Plague Priest right here. And the Goblin Wolf Shaman, the Eternal Troll, going to be kind of scooting and shooting here, going to be dropping some missile attacks. But look at these Rattling Gunners just unloading into the Teeth Robbers. These guys need to get into melee combat. They need to jump over here and get on the weapons teams, because if those weapon teams stay online, it's just going to be game blouses. So a nice little charge there. Might be able to break those guys. If he does break them, he should 100% chase them off the battlefield. On top of that, Lumberjacks does have some troops in the back, so he's got Forest Goblin Spider Riders. He has the Death's Creepers. He needs to just pile in here and jump on top of these weapons teams. And it looks like right as I say that, he does that. So he grabs these Forest Goblin Spider Riders, he's going to be jumping onto those guys, and that's going to be some fresh fish. Now, if he's able to get the weapons teams, maybe he can claw his way back, but the Council Guard are healthy, Plague Monks are pretty healthy, and the Big Furnace, the Grey Seer, is going to be really, really tough to deal with. But yeah, I mean, look at this. There's still healthy Stormvermin up here, there's Skaven Slaves, there's just a whole mess of Skaven bodies. The Greenskins are looking a little bit tattered up at this point. I mean, they have some troops coming back, getting this charge on top of the Rattling Guns is quite nice, but the Gobbo King, very, very good micro here. He's going to be pushing these Plague Monks back, and they're going to be intercepting, and it looks like there's some Vindictive Glare going down on that guy right there. But nonetheless, these Plague Monks are going to surge forward, and they'll make very, very quick work of these Forest Goblin Spider Riders, especially with the support of the Plague Furnace. Looks like there's also going to be a Skaven summon, but the Bounce Bar is actually ebbing back towards the middle a little bit, probably due to that missile attack. So the Goblin Great Shaman is just going to be sitting and cackling, and a ton of these Greenskin Archers are back online. So you can see if with a little bit of micro, Lumberjacks might be able to get a healthy missile line back online and start taking apart some of these troops here. Of course, Skaven aren't the best against sustained missile fire. So right here you can see the Grey Seer is just going to be looking for a target, and it looks like the Plague Priest is actually taken out. So that's going to be a huge pick here for Lumberjacks, the Teeth Robbers, plus the Death's Creepers. We're able to kind of poke him down, and another missile attack is going to spell doom for this Plague Priest. So that's going to be shutting down the Skaven summons, and it looks like Gobbo King is trying to rush over here with the Council Guard to give it Guardian and protect it, but I don't know. These Morgul's Ancient Marauders, if used correctly, should be able to pull back and chase it off the battlefield. So very, very close battle. Seems to be pretty evenly matched here. Up here on the high ground, the Rustiers are finally going to be caught by some Stormvermin, so that's going to be a big hit. These guys are quite powerful. They still have 63 models, but they're going to be getting chased off the battlefield by these Stormvermin, so Oh man, quite a situation right here. The Gobbo King in a very close battle here with Lumberjacks, but Gobbo King still has a slight advantage, I would say. He does have pretty much a full health Lord. This Gracier on his Furnace, well not his Furnace, but his Screaming Bell is what it's actually called for him, is going to be a tough cookie to crack. And the Goblin Great Shaman's getting in melee. That's how you know things are getting pretty desperate here for the Greenskins. But yeah, that bounce of power keeps going back and forth, back and forth. It is just such a close, contested game here. The Night Goblins have 87 models, and Night Goblins are extremely efficient against Skaven. They're shielded, they have decent combat stats, they have poison. They're going to be really good against low-tier infantry. But look at this. Gobbo King in the distance does get his Plague Priest back, so the Plague Priest might have a couple more summons, which would be very, very helpful here in the late game. And of course, summoning, as you guys know, has been nerfed in the most recent DLC, so summons aren't going to be as impactful as they were before, but nonetheless, still very, very good. But this is a huge pick for the Gobbo King. The fact that he was able to get these Storm Vermin up here and shut down the Rusty Arrows, that is huge. I mean, those guys were pretty healthy, and they were actually a pretty substantial part of the bounce of power. Now, the Greenskins do have a bit of a resurgence. You can see over here on this part of the battlefield, they have some 17 of these elite Unbreakable Goblins, Night Goblins. You got Squig Hoppers here, more Night Goblins. That's going to be a pretty nasty little core of troops. The Goblin Great Shaman's still in okay shape. You might have some Winds of Magic left, and you can see the Council Guard, though. That is so mean, though. Unbreakable Council Guard giving Guardian to this Gracier, making him even tougher to kill. That is just so nice. Now, let's see what the Skaven have across the rest of the map. So we got some Skaven slaves over here. We have 73 Stormvermin here. And it looks like these Greenskin troops just get broken upon the side of the Gracier right here. And the Greenskins are going to be trying to rally, just pushing in as one. Maybe there's still a Wah left. I don't know if there's going to be any Wahs. It's tough. It's going to be tough for the Greenskins. Up on the high ground, they have some Night Goblin Archers, which would be very, very good for breaking these 6 Rat Ogres right here. And in the distance, the Morgulf's Mage Marauders are coming back, but I don't know. I feel like the Skaven are in a pretty commanding position right now, despite the bounce of power being relatively even. Plus, they still have another group of Storm Vermin over here. I mean, 73 of those bad boys, that is no joke. The Rusty Arrows are back online, and it looks like the Greenskins are going to be forming a Helm's Deep, and we have a glorious charge as the Wah faces down against the Vermintide. We're going to see how this goes. I think the Skaven troops are a little bit more elite. It's not often you hear that said, but you can see here, Itchy Nuisance is going to be going down, which is going to be helping these Night Goblins and these other elite troops here. The Gobbo King going to be lining up a beautiful, beautiful Plague Breath right here, which is going to be, or actually Scorch, excuse me, which is going to be doing some great damage against the Goblins. And you can see with that, the Goblins look to be breaking. Warp Lightning going down. Gobbo King saving all his fireworks and lightning here for the 4th quarter, and man, just zapping those guys. Council Guard are still going. I mean, they still got 16 models. The Greenskins have a couple of Goblins fighting, but for the most part, I think that's going to be game. And it looks like the Gobbo King, in a very, very close first game, is going to be quelling one of the Goblin rebellions of his unruly kin. And yeah, man, what a game between these two players. Very, very close, very evenly matched, and that was quite a bit of fun to see. So the Goblin Great Shaman is going to be cackling and running into the distance. And of course, being a Goblin, he'll be back with a vengeance and a vendetta against these Skaven right here. So yeah, for anyone joining, this is the first game of the day. It's between Lumberjacks, who's playing the Greenskins, and the Gobbo King, who is playing the Skaven. So it looks like the Greenskins coming in with a bit of a second win. They do have some Night Goblins coming in, some Squig Hoppers, but this little Night Goblin Shaman, he's not going to be able to make much of a difference here. He's got his little wolf. I mean, maybe he might have 1 or 2 more missile attacks. It looks like the Goblin Shaman is going to be casting a Vindictive Glare right here, which does some pretty good damage, but nonetheless, it's not going to be like lethal, right? I mean, it's I'm pretty sure it got nerfed, actually. So here we do have some Night Goblins coming back, some more right here. Maybe they could pile in and get something done. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the map. We do have some archers coming back, and this archer core is actually pretty substantial. But I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if it could actually get him back in the game. He does have the Rusty Arrows and some Night Goblin archers who will probably break pretty quickly, but they're going to be super good against Plague Monks and company. But I'm afraid the Greenskins are probably just going to be experiencing army losses before they can do any substantial damage. Plus, 71 shielded Storm Vermin right here. He does have these elite Council Guard. It's just going to be so tough to take those guys out. And the Goblin Great Shaman going to be getting swarmed by these rats right here. The Seer looks like he might be piling in, but man, just such a good game here. The first game is actually like a 10-minute game, which is usually a sign of a pretty good match there. And with that, the Gobbo King is going to be taking game 1 in this best of 3 series here in the Eternal Challenger League Season 2 Qualifier number 2. And he's going to be going on to the next game. Very, very well played. Well played, guys. And now they're going to be going, so it's going to be Lumberjacks. I think they actually decided to do a gentleman's agreement between their picks, but normally in this format, it is pick and ban, so we'll see what they decide to do for the second game. So that was a great one. That was a really, really close game there. You know, there was a couple times where the Greenskins did get into the back line, but Gobbo King was able to kind of hold his formation, and his furnaces were really good. I mean, but both players played a super solid game. I really do think that this is the way to beat Skaven, just going super wide like this, but it really just came down to, some play stuff, and it was just a great game. Really, really solid. He didn't go too heavily into the Rattling Guns and the weapons teams, which I thought was good. A lot of Skaven players get super excited and bring like 4 or 5 of those against Greenskins, and you're not going to be able to protect those. So I really like that he only brought a couple. It wasn't a lot to protect, and it was really just good for pulling in his opponent. So good stuff there, guys. So we're going to be updating the scoreboard. It is going to be the Gobbo King going up 1-0 in this best of 3. So Lumberjacks is on the ropes, and let's see what he's going to be pulling out for the next game as we get our blocker back up. And yeah, we'll be back in the lobby. So the next map is going to be, we have Altdorf Outskirts, yes. And they're going to be picking their goodies here. Welcome. So yeah, this is the very beginning. So for anyone joining, you haven't missed anything. It's actually perfect timing, as a matter of fact. Perfect timing. And yes, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the day. So if we take a look at the scorecards, well, not the caster's desk, but the tablet, Zyphos did qualify last week, so he's going to be on the grand finals, facing, of course, one of the winners, most likely, of today's tournament. And for today's bracket, we do have the Gobbo King facing off against Lumberjocks and El Halcon facing off against A-Move Hacker in the next match. So, of course, the winner of this best of three will be facing the winner of the best of three here on the bottom, which is always a pretty good time. Yes, yes. And now we're back from outer space. And it looks like the Gobbo King is going to be going Dwarves. He says QSA Oathbreaker. Oh man, this is going to be good. So it's going to be Dwarves facing off against Bretonnia. Now this is an interesting matchup. I don't know. Dwarves have some pretty good tools. I mean, you pretty much just have to spam Thunders, just go super wide, use a bunch of Slayers. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's going to be trying something different. Lumberjocks, of course, is going to need some Foot Squires and some Questing Knights and all that kind of good stuff. And Tiamat64, nice, got a stream, was killing on Vermintide 2, an announcement the stream popped up. Kill all, yes, yes. Well, thank you for the donation, man, and welcome to the stream. We're going to see if the Dwarves and their firepower can take out the might of the noble Bretonnians. It's going to be a good one. Well, we're going to actually have quite a few Dwarf games today, I would imagine, because A-Move Hacker, who's playing in the next match, I'm pretty sure he's a Dwarf main. So we're going to be having quite a bit of, hot Dwarf action in today's matchup. So it's going to be fun. Man, just waking up. I got to get up earlier. Like when these events, I always just wake up like 30 minutes before. I'm like, oh God, brain. You know how like you have brain fog in the morning and all that good stuff? Yeah, it's just. Yeah, dobrze. Yeah, so the Gobbo King not picking his goblins in the first round. Perhaps he's saving them for the grand finals, which I don't blame him. Gobbo King's certainly one of the better players out there, so we're going to see what sort of treachery is afoot with him if he makes it to the finals. But of course, there's still another game between these two, if Lumberjocks is able to take it. So, yes. I know, we're back. The Eternal Challenger League is going to be a perpetual format, so whenever we have a new content drop for Total War Warhammer, there's going to be an Eternal Challenger League to follow it. So, I mean, unless it becomes super like rapid fire in terms of content and everything. Yeah, drop a like if you guys are enjoying. I actually don't drink coffee anymore. I cut that out, and I found that my hands don't seem to hurt as much. I don't know if that's just something in my head, but I cut out coffee, and yeah, it's been good. So there's some banter between the two players here, talking about oath breaking and all that stuff. So Lumberjock says, "It is you who has dishonored the lady of QSA." Start when ready. All right. Now we're going to be getting into the second match here. I'm really excited to see the build of Gobbo King here and his Dwarves against Bretonnians. Yes. I actually had some important meetings like in person this week pertaining to business stuff, so I didn't want to go in with a ridiculous mustache. Like, I wanted to seem somewhat professional. I mean, and it does not look good in person, trust me. What time is it in my country? It's almost noon right now. So I stay up really late, though. Lady Turin and I usually stay up till like 2 or 3 a.m. Painting Warhammer, watching movies, that kind of stuff. So I don't think Tretch is a good pick compared to Ikit. I mean, Ikit is anti-large AP and like it's just so much better in every single way. That's pretty funny, Mole Spaghetti. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, I don't know. Dwarves, I mean, Dwarven infantry are pretty good against Bretonnia. They're going to be able to hold pretty firm. Cannons are good. Thunders are good. I mean, there's so many different options. A lot of it is dependent on the map. If you're on a very terrain-heavy map, I would say Thunders are a little bit better simply because they're not going to have as many line-of-sight issues compared to like cannons, like if there's a big hill or trees or things like that. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah. So I cut out coffee. Yeah, I haven't had coffee in months, and I feel pretty good. I mean, my energy levels have been great, and I do miss it a lot. There's a couple times where I've almost broke. I'm like, oh, I must have it. But yeah, we'll see, guys. So we're going to be jumping onto Altdorf Outskirts, a pretty solid map. I personally think it's one of the better multiplayer maps. Could a Lore Master of Hoeth take Tretch one-on-one? If he's using his magic, yeah, for sure, because he would just Spirit Leech and heal himself. So it depends on the circumstances. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of the screen blocker, make sure all is well in the realm. And here we are with Game 2 between the Gobbo King and Lumberjocks. So in this match, Gobbo King going to be coming in, the hero of the people, and he's going to be bringing Grandpa Gromby. So Gromby is actually not bad against Bretonnia. He has some pretty good tools with the Smoke Bomb. So when the Bretonnians come in, he can slow them down by 76%, which is huge for the Dwarves. Now, something very interesting about the build of the Gobbo King is he does not have any Slayers. So there's not going to be any Giant Slayers or Dragonback Slayers, which are just such a common pick against Bretonnia. So it's going to be a very, very different build. In the back, he does have the Master Engineer. So the Master Engineer is going to be dropping some of those hot buffs. Ballistics Calibration. He does also have the Prospector Spyglass. So going to be buffing up the cannons. 18% accuracy, plus 30%, plus 20 reload skill. So he's going to be buffing up these cannons and dropping some hot Dwarven Fury here on the Bretonnians, which is going to be cool. For the front line, Goblin King does have Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, Dwarf Warriors, Longbeards across the entire front line. So it's basically Longbeards, but the main kind of punch of his army is going to be 2 hammers. So he has 2 of these bad boys, and yeah, they're going to be pretty overkill against Bretonnian infantry. They'll be taking those guys to Pound Town, but if they are able to kind of catch and pin down any of the Bretonnian cav, they'll also hammer them pretty bad. Their melee attack is very high, very good weapon strength, so they're not as dependent on, let's say, you know, an anti-large bonus, because their natural stats are just so good. So really excited to see how he makes those guys work. Goblin King, of course, has some very interesting builds here. But yeah, mostly just dwarf infantry. He's got a couple cannons, which are going to be doing most of the heavy lifting. No runesmiths, which are super common in this matchup. Runesmiths you typically bring to slow down the heavy cav, but looks like he's trying something different, and quite eager to see how this goes. Now, for the forces of Lumberjacks, who's going to be leading, the Green Knight. We got the Green Knight here in the forest, going to be awesome. So he does indeed have the Green Knight. The Green Knight is armor piercing. The magic damage, of course, is a factor, but I still think he's very powerful. The Green Knight is just tearing the night. But guys, something that a lot of people don't know about Grandpa Gromby is he does do magic damage. So Gromby can just beat the brakes off the Green Knight in melee combat. So it's going to be a wild Green Knight pick. I'm quite eager to see how he does here. Seems like it's going to be a tough one for him. Now, he does have Peasant Mobs, so he's got Peasant Mobs in the second line. He's got Foot Squires, followed up by the, not the Fey Enchantress? I'm surprised. I thought we would see Fey Enchantress, but it looks like it's going to be King Louis on foot. So it's going to be Lewin dueling Grombrindle on foot, most likely. And we do have the Damsel with Lord of Life with Earthblood and Regrowth. On the far side, we have Knights Errant, and it looks like we're going to have a massive contingent of Knights Errant, just cheap cav, just getting in there, disrupting the Dwarves, which I think is quite good. But the main kind of tail of the tape also is going to be Trebuchets, so he does have field Trebuchets. Now, Trebuchets have okay, AP, 170 missile damage, 440 range. So yeah, the cannons are probably going to be killing those guys pretty bad. So the Goblin King is going to be popping Ballistics Calibration as the game does start here, and the cannons are going to be going downtown, and these Trebuchets are not going to be long for this earth. Trebuchets just get shreked so hard. Look at that. The Goblin King with his buffed up cannons, one volley, he's able to kill the field Trebuchets. Brutal stuff right here. So the field trebuchet is getting taken to town. Maybe he knows how Lumberjacks plays, and he brought the cannons simply to kind of counter this, because maybe he knows how Lumberjacks likes to use field trebuchets. But man, that is going to be very, very nasty right here. So the cannons going in, doing some pretty good damage. Trebuchets are not returning the favor quite as well, but they're going to be going downtown, probably shooting at some of the dwarf hammers, and they are not the most accurate. Looks like they kind of clipped the edge of that formation right there. Let me get a sip of water. But yeah, not doing too much damage. Oh, that's some good-ass water, I must say. That's some good-ass water. Anyways, back to the battle. Looks like one field trebuchet is offline, completely shreked. I mean, just absolutely destroyed by those dwarven cannons. So those buffed-up cannons who do have the improved accuracy from the Master Engineer are just unleashing here on the Bretonnians. And Foot Squires will do very well in this frontline fight, though. Goblin King doesn't have too much AP himself in the front line. I think he just has the hammer. Well, that's not true. He has 2 hammers, so he's just going to need to kind of get those guys in the front line. And it looks like Grandpa Gromby is going to be waiting on the flanks. He probably knows there's a massive force of knights in the forest here. I mean, most of them are hidden, but most likely a couple of them have revealed themselves, so he's going to be waiting. But the dwarves are just going to be holding, and it looks like there's some peasant bowmen as well. So Lumberjacks does have 1, 2, and his other trebuchet is still firing, though. Still getting in there. It hasn't killed any. It killed 4 hammers. It's barely done anything in this fight here. But here you can see the dwarf infantry, the proud Dawi, going to be surging forth. The peasant bowmen are going to be unloading on the cannon crews, which is a good choice. They only have 40 armor, so if he's able to kind of keep that fire up, that's going to be very good. And Lumberjacks is going to be lurking in the trees here with the defenders, Knights Errant, all these other troops, and probably going to be circling up and around, looking for those sweet goodies, looking for an opening. And the Green Knight is going to be leading a massive Rohirrim charge out of the forest here. And we're going to see if Gromby can get on that target. You can see Gromby is trying to get in position here to kind of screen these guys out. You can see a massive rotation coming in from the Goblin King. The Knights Errant are going to be charging in, but they're not going to do too much against Dwarf Infantry. Dwarf Infantry are very stalwart here, and the Dwarf Warriors, I believe Dwarf Warriors have charge defense. Yeah, so these guys are going to be kind of tanking that charge pretty well. Green Knight is in the wrong neighborhood. Gromby's coming in with the steel chair, and Gromby's going to beat the brakes off the Green Knight if he's able to get him in combat. So Flash Bomb has been popped here by the Goblin King, and the Peasant Bowmen are actually doing a pretty good job here against the cannon crews. So that's one thing that's going very well for Bretonnia. But the Dwarf Infantry are just annihilating the front line. Goblin King was able to get these hammers on top of the Foot Squires, which is such a mismatch. Dwarf hammers are very, very elite. They're going to be giving them the dirty. And man, look how giant these dwarves are. I mean, I guess they're just very wide. So the Bretonnians having a pretty bad time in the front line so far. Although these hammers right here, the ones that are fighting against King Lewin, are taking a bit of a beating because the Sword of Corone and some of these other elements. And the Foot Squires, or not Foot Squires, but the defenders, oh, looks like he was able to get through. So Lumberjacks does kind of squeak through the back line, but these guys are wavering. Don't know if they're going to be able to get back there. And you can see one of those cannons does get taken out, but Lumberjacks, is he going to be able to kind of stabilize this Knights Errant right here? It looks like he is, and he's going to be getting onto the other cannon, which is huge. So at that point, it could kind of be a bit of a swarming situation for the Goblin King. Oh man, his backline just kind of falling apart right here. So these cannons getting jumped all over by these Knights Errant. Other Knights Errant are going to be taking a bit of a fight against Longbeards here, just pushing in there with an Earthblood. And the Green Knight, I wonder where he's going to go. I mean, he just needs to stay away from Gromby. That's the problem with Gromby in general, is you can just kite him for the most part, unless he's one of the last troops left on the battlefield. But here you can see the Dwarf, or the Peasant Bowman doing a really good job. They've almost fully killed this cannon as well, so not bad. A very, very even fight here. I would say the Bretonnians might have taken a bit of an advantage there by getting into the back line and shutting down those cannons for a moment. That is going to be huge, because it's going to allow these knights and these other troops to really kind of run rampant. And the Bretonnians do have a bit of a Death Star. They have some foot squires, they have the Green Knight, they have foot squires right here. And it looks like some of the dwarf infantry here are going to be buckling. So right here, let's see what we got. So we've got Longbeards right there who are crumbling down. These dwarf warriors are holding quite firm, though. Of course, the hammers are here, and the hammers are putting a bit of a hurting here on King Lewin. But look at Lewin on foot. He actually looks pretty badass fighting here. But Gromby might as well chase Lewin, but it looks like he's going to be going after the Green Knight, trying to get a fight right here, which, I mean, every hit is going to be pretty big if he's able to make contact. But the Green Knight does have better mass. But look at this, a massive charge coming in from the Bretonnians, and they actually break those dwarven hammers right there, which is going to be incredibly brutal. So the Dwarven back line, it looks like it might be getting back online. So these cannons are going to be getting, remounted right here. And some of the Dwarf Warriors and these hammers are going to be able to kind of protect that. But the Bretonnians do have some peasants rallying and some foot squires here who are trading pretty efficiently against Longbeards. Foot squires do, of course, have pretty good AP and a bonus force infantry, which is pretty much the entire Dwarf roster. And look at this. A bit of a scary situation here for Gromby. Gromby's a little bit surrounded, potentially. I mean, I guess he has so many reinforcements here. The Warriors of Dragonfire Pass will easily be able to beat Knights Errant. I mean, the Knights Errant are not good in sustained combat. They need to be cycle charged just into the Shadow Realm. Now, there is a group of 74 foot squires over here, which is pretty substantial. So if he's able to get those guys back in here, that could be quite strong. The Bretonnians are actually pulling ahead a little bit in the bounce of power here. And it looks like the Grombrindle is in a duel with the Green Knight, and he hasn't taken any damage yet. He has some Longbeards helping him, but it looks like the Damsel there is helping as well. Ooh, the Green Knight just got karate chopped by Grombrindle. Man, Lumberjacks need to get that guy out of there and make sure to get some heals. I mean, Grombrindle hits extremely hard. 500 weapon strength against like a very low HP unit who it takes basically extra damage from magic. That is not a good situation. So he's going to be dropping some fat heals. The Warriors of Dragonfire Pass going to be, kind of resurfacing here, getting in their defensive posture. And the Knights of Bretonnia, they need to get back here. They need to shut down this cannon. This cannon is going to make all the difference here if he's able to keep shooting and just slowly picking off these Knights Errant. The Bretonnians, I think, were ahead there for a quick moment, but it looks like the Dwarves are able to kind of gather their gumption. They're able to get back in position, and it seems like they're in a relatively good position now with that cannon back online. I mean, if the cannons had both been shut down and killed, I think the Bretonnian Cav would probably be able to have a field day and cause a lot of problems for the Dwarves, but the fact that it's back online here is really tough. So the Master Engineer is going to be lining up his long shot rifle, going to be taking some shots here at the Damsel, and it looks like the Green Knight is going to be surging into the back line and trying to finish off that cannon, which he absolutely has to if he wants a chance to win this game. Now, it looks like King Lewin is in a bit of a duel right here, so he's going to be fighting against the Longbeards, well, not duel, and Dwarf Warriors, and it looks like Gromby in the meantime is going to be working on these foot squires with his giant beat stick axe here, and yeah, the foot squires are not happy to be fighting Gromby. It looks like 4 of them are felled here with his axe, and yeah, bounce fire is still very even. Dwarves, the Bretonnians still have a fair amount of Knights left. They have a couple of these Knights Errant. It looks like their Field Trebuchet in the back is still alive as well, so somehow that thing is still going. And, some miners are going to be sneaking back here. Hopefully Lumberjacks is paying attention and shuts those guys down, because they will get a lot of value. Back in the main fight, we do have King Lewin, who's going to be rallying his troops here. The Green Knight is going to be shutting down the cannon, and it looks like the cannon crew actually does get terrified. The Green Knight does cause terror. Oh, beautiful play. If Lumberjacks is able to get these peasants and actually kill the cannon crew, these are going to be the bravest peasants in all of Bretonnia here. Man, what a great game to start off this tournament. They're a great series, I should say. So the peasant mob is going to be jumping on the cannon crew. The cannon crew, this is probably the first time we've seen dwarves run from Bretonnian peasants, but it is a numbers game at this point. They got their pitchforks, they got their rakes, and it looks like the cannon crew is going to be breaking. Those peasant mobs are going to be generating a ton of value chasing off that cannon. And the Green Knight here, he should probably go assassinate this Master Engineer. He could kill that Engineer extremely quickly. So Lewin is in good health. The Damsel's in pretty good health. The Dwarves are starting to get a little bit tattered in some areas, but look at this. They still have a full health group of hammers, basically. I mean, those guys are just rock hard. They're ready to go. They have 72 models, and those are going to be really, really tough to kill. I mean, there's still some foot squires. King Lewin will do okay, but Gromby's in good health. The Master Engineer's in pretty good health, and you can see here that the Green Knight, it looks like he is trying to hunt down the Master Engineer, but he's getting a little bit caught up here on these Longbeards right here, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to push through them. Dwarves do have very good mass, even with their infantry, so it's pretty hard to push through them. Peasant Archer is going to be shooting downtown, trying to pick off some of these hammers, and in the distance, what do we got? So in the back, we have some miners with blasting charges who are coming in. They might actually be able to finish off this back line if they don't get stopped here. But it looks like some of these peasant bowmen are going to be kind of trading in here. And the trebuchet is going to be a pretty big deal, right? You still have some ammunition. It looks like 2 models. So probably just kiting the dwarves, like pulling back and trying to shoot the hammers with the trebuchet is going to be his best bet. I mean, the Green Knight and Lewin could easily assassinate this Master Engineer if they can get their paws on him. But Gobble King, of course, has very, very good micro. He's going to be getting the Master Engineer circling up and around, just running circles around this force right here. And it's going to make it pretty tough for the Green Knight to get on the appropriate target. And he's actually getting relatively close to his healing cap as well. Man, this is a tense one. But the Gobble King is actually pulling ahead in the balance of power. And I think that if Bretonnia does want to get back into this, they are going to have to kill this Master Engineer, because Gromby's coming and he is pissed. And look at this. The hammers are here. They're just crumping all over these foot squires. The Damsel of Floor of Life is getting hammered as well. She needs to get out of there. But that Dwarven mass, I mean, look at this. She's on a horse and she can't really push through these guys too well. You can see here she's getting surrounded. She's being circle beat. And the last of the Bretonian allies right there are... Oh, Grombrindle's coming in and he is pissed. He's got his axe. He's probably been chasing things all game. A lot of pent-up rage. And this Damsel is just going to get karate chopped. Her 22 melee defense not going to be helping too much against Gromby. Although it does look like she might have staggered Gromby there with her cane. But yeah, as soon as Gromby makes contact like once or twice with her, she's going to be breaking. Yeah, you can see she's going to be running off the battlefield. So bounce power pretty heavily in the favor of the Dwarves here. And I don't think the Bretonians at this point can come back. There's just too many Dwarves. You have a ton of Longbeards here. You have a healthy group here. You have the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass at full health. You have Hammers at 67 models right here. I mean, that is a lot to deal with. And I simply just don't think the Bretonians have the stopping power. King Lewin, quite brave. You know, he's getting in here. He's throwing karate kicks himself. But that's a lot of angry Dwarves. And Gromby coming back in, he's easily going to be able to beat down the Green Knight. The Green Knight, again, is in the wrong neighborhood as Grombrindle does come back in with his magic damage. And he's going to be dropping some serious bows on the Green Knight. So the Green Knight just getting dropped right here. He's slowed. He's going to be getting clubbed. His speed is 21 right now, so that's even slower than Grombrindle. And a lot of high mass Dwarves are going to be pinning him in here. So I think that's going to be it. And Lumberjacks probably knows it at this point, as King Lewin is going to be making his last stand here. Damsel in the distance could potentially drop a heal, but when the Green Knight goes, I think that's really going to kind of trigger some issues, because Grombrindle is just going to... Grombrindle can beat King Lewin in melee combat if Lewin is on foot. Lewin doesn't have the best AP, and Grombrindle does have 120 armor, so it's not going to be the best situation for him. Man, what a game. So the Dwarves are able to pull this one out, it looks like. In the back, there still is a Trebuchet back online. Some Dwarf Warriors are going to be surging back there, but the Gobbo King with some ferocious battles here. 2 10-minute battles here in the first round of this tournament. Man, those were close ones. Trebuchet is getting some good value for Bretonnia, but again, it is indeed too late. Grombrindle is going to be pulling back. Not sure why. He's probably getting in there. It looks like the Green Knight did get killed. So the Green Knight has fallen. Giles is sent back to the Shadow Realm from whence he came. And now it's going to be Lewin, whose head is going to be on the platter. And that's going to be army losses. So the Gobbo King is going to be taking that match there. So Gobbo King will be advancing on to the finals to face the winner of A-Move Hacker and El Halcon here in the next match. Man, that was a great game. It was a great game. The Trebuchets, I mean, they got some value as the game went on, but man, Gobbo King's Master Engineer build there, which is kind of pounding out those field Trebuchets, that was really, really cool. But it was a close game. It was a really close game. The Green Knight did some serious work, terror routing, assassinating, just causing problems. But man, very well played to both of these fine gentlemen here. And again, we'll see Gobbo King in the finals, and very well played to Lumberjacks. Let's hear a round of applause for him. He put up a great fight in both games. Could have potentially won them, but again, Gobbo King coming in with the steel chair and was able to kind of clean up shop there. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here as we do move on to the next round. Gold scorecard, boom. Here we are. And that is it. So Gobbo King is going to be advancing to the next round. So let's go ahead and go to the bracket and do the ghetto shift. So Gobbo King is going to be moving on to the finals. And let us go ahead and get the next game set up. Should be fun. Come on, come all, welcome. And let me let Gobbo King know. GG. See you in finals, Gobbo. Yes, you're in finals. All right. So we've let Gobbo King know he's going to be in the finals here. And we're going to be jumping over to the next match here in this Eternal Challenger League qualifier. Come on. Steam. It's not Tuesday. Steam shouldn't be having any issues. Yeah, the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass did some serious work that game. Those guys were just absolute beast mode. Yeah, really, really good stuff. All right. Hey, guys. Showtime. El Halcon, pick and ban first. And let's make sure we have the appropriate maps as we do get into this next match here. Yes, and we have the maps here. Great. So we are in. It's time, and yes, Gobbo King was the winner of the first ever chosen invitational, which was done in the apartment of Italian Spartacus and I. Back when we started that, that was really funny. Those were the olden days. Yeah, Thunderers are very good as well. I mean, the Dwarfs have a couple options there. Runesmiths, I think, are super good as well for slowing down the Bretonnian Cav. All right, and here we go. We're going to be jumping up here to the next match. We just need to get the blocker up and, of course, update the scoreboards here. Might take a moment. I guess I could have done that before, but it's okay. It's too late. The jig is up. Gonna get his name up there. And he's going to be facing off against A Move Hacker. A very, very good dwarf player. Last time I played against his dwarfs, man, he gave me the business. He is very, very good at dwarves. So for a lot of you guys who said we never saw dwarves, I mean, we're getting to see him now. Turn off large armies checkbox. And bottom. Great. So it's going to be Lizardmen versus Dwarves. Now, of course, Lizardmen have some great new tools against the Dwarves. They have the red-crested skinks. They have a couple new armor-piercing options and salamanders. So the metagame has shifted quite a bit. So I'm quite curious to see how A Move Hacker does here against the dinos. Oh no, I don't drink coffee because it has any issues for my stomach. It's just I've been told by people that sometimes it can, caffeine and all that stuff can, it's not good for your tendons and muscles and things like that. You like that up here too? You like that? Yeah, I know. It's so bad. Oh, man. All right. Good luck, have fun is dropped from El Halcón here, a true sportsman facing off against, I believe, one of his fellow clanmates. I think A Move Hacker is in his clan as well, so that wasn't intentional at all. God, I love caffeine, though. I love coffee. I would really dig some coffee right now. Mole Spaghetti, game one. That was a 2-game series. So Goblin King won the series 2-0. Therefore, he's going to be advancing to the grand finals to face the winner of this series here. Yes, yes. And now it is showtime. It is Gotham's Reckoning. A Move Hacker versus El Halcón. And let's go ahead and get rid of the blocker here as we jump onto a pretty good map here. Not sure about the connection of these two gentlemen, so hopefully it won't take too long. Pounder says he'll let someone else have this week. Very generous of you. Yeah, Lumberjacks played a great game. He was an absolute beast. Those were real. I mean, I can tell you from experience, Goblin King is like one of the best players out there. So, I mean, those are very, very solid games right there. I mean, they could have gone either way. So very well played to those fine gentlemen. What is the dwarf counter versus ancient salamander? Cannons work pretty well. Yeah, I mean, cannons have better range. It's pretty tough. Dwarves do have some problems with it, but A Move Hacker is probably going to have like two cannons and then a bunch of like infantry spread out with a couple of thunders, I would imagine. Dwarven missile pressure can kill the red-crested skinks super quick. They're unshielded, obviously, so they can get pounded pretty bad by thunders and quarrelers and things like that. So the metagame has shifted quite a bit. I'm really eager to see what he actually brings because, I haven't played this matchup much from the Dwarven end, so I'm quite curious to see what you bring to deal with some of those big threats. Yes. And here we are. Here we go. Okay, everything's looking good. Just double checking all the specs here to make sure Steam isn't causing problems. And let's go ahead and take a look at the armies of A Move Hacker. So for A Move Hacker, he does have a Dwarf Lord, so just a standard Dwarf Lord, no items. And this is pretty much his playstyle. He likes to go very cheap and go very wide and just pretty much just, because the average Dwarven infantry unit and unit itself has good leadership, good value across the board. So going super wide like this is can be pretty efficient if that's what how you play. In the back line, he just has a ton of a little bit of lag here. Hopefully it'll subside here in just a moment. Hey, Lumberjacks, you played a great game, dude. It was amazing. I'm proud of you, man. Dwarf Warriors, Longbeards in the whole front line, which is going to be pretty good against Saurus and stuff. I mean, Dwarves do have the bit of an advantage in the infantry fight, I would say. I mean, or at the very least, they're pretty cost-effective. He's got 2 Thunders in the back line. He does have Dragonback Slayers here. These guys got their axes out for Harambe. They're ready to go. And up in the skies, we have a pretty wild card pick. We have Gyrocopters with Brimstone Guns. So you guys were asking, what is the Dwarf answer against the Salamander? Maybe it's the Brimstone Guns. I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting. On top of that, we do also have a couple of the Rangers in the forest. So we have Altars, Raiders, and it looks like a standard group of Rangers. So these guys get to be dropping some bows and axes here against things like Temple Guard and Elite Troops, and marked by Altars, super good. So just to kind of summarize his army, he's got a couple of Thunders, he's got 2 Gyrocopters, and 2 Raiders. Or, I guess Altars Raiders plus another group of Rangers here. So pretty cool little army, very gun-centric. No cannons, though, so that he has nothing that can really range the Salamanders, but he does have the Brimstone Gun. So perhaps he's thinking that he can chase down the Salamanders using those guys. I'm not sure. It's going to be really cool to see how he plays this. He's a very, very good Dwarf player, probably one of the best I've seen. So on top of that, we have Chameleon Skinks. So we got Chameleons for the brave Lizardmen here, who are going to be played by El Halcón. We got Skink Cohorts. We got Saurus Warriors across the entire front line. Man, just a deep army from the Dinos. Look at that force going into the sunset. So it's a combination of Saurus and red-crested skinks, which is a great combo. The RCSs, the red-crested skinks, are going to be quite good against dwarf infantry for their cost. Poison, AP, can't complain. He does have a couple single entities. He does have the Glorious Bastillodon, who looks like he's going to be more of a distraction Carnifex. So he's going to be coming in for the steel chair, or the steel, I guess, I don't know what he would have steel of. I guess steel tail for sure, yeah, so it's steel tail. Gonna get killed really quickly, but he's only 650, so it's not really a big deal. On top of that, El Halcon does also have some flying units, so he has the Powhawks of Sentinels, which are going to be a pretty good answer against flying troops. So pretty much a hard counter against gyrocopters. Granted, a move hacker does have 2 gyrocopters, so he can get some crossfire, plus some thunders and things like that. I'll let him know they can start when ready. He said, let's go champ, which is always fun. We do also have an Ancient Salamander, so you guys are going to get to see how the Ancient Salamander performs against the Dwarves, and of course, El Halcon is a very, very good player, so I'm quite eager to see how he does that. We got another Feral Bastillodon over here, and looks like a red-crested Skink Chief on foot. And it looks like it's going to be a Skink Priest with Heaven, so Wind Blast super good against Dwarves as well. And on the far side, we got Feral Cold Ones and Feral Cold Ones. So Clever Girls, Salamanders, red-crested Skink Chiefs, all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, this is going to be really fun. Quite excited to see how this game goes. So the Salamander is going to be surging forward. I do like Salamanders against Dwarves. One thing is sometimes the Dwarves can kind of just, weather it out, because it does run out of ammo pretty quick, but the Powhawks of Sentinels going to be jumping in. A move hacker going to be dropping some serious firepower in the initial volley here. Probably not going to be able to kill them, but yeah, that's some pretty good damage. Wow, look at that burst. And I don't think there's any rev crystals or healing, so the crossfire is going to be pretty mean. The Powhawks of Sentinels probably just going to want to sit back. And the Salamander, it's not very good at shooting things like this, but it looks like the Powhawks of Sentinels are going to be able to catch one gyrocopter here, but the Thunder Overwatch fire is going to be very strong, and it looks like A-Move Hacker was actually expecting some Vanguard. You can see that his Dwarf Thunders are facing the opposite direction, so they're like, you know what? I think there might be some treachery here in the back line. So at this point, if I were El Halcon, I'd probably fall back with the Powhawks of Sentinels. I don't think those guys are going to be able to get too much value here, so those guys want to fall back at this point. The Dwarven Gyrocopter is going to be surging forward. Those guys are a little bit problematic here. It looks like they're going to be going after the Salamander. The Salamander does not want to be wasting its ammo here. It should be shooting Thunders and Dwarf Infantry. That's where it really shines, in my opinion, but again, maybe he knows something I don't. So the Red Crested Skink Chief is on foot. It looks like the initial volley of swords are going to be going in. So this is actually really good for El Halcon. He's able to isolate this Brimstone gun. He's going to be poisoning it, dragging it down. So he's able to kind of catch A-Move Hacker in a bit of a tough position here. So he might be able to push these guys off the battlefield. He can break them. I mean, 21 leadership's pretty grim. So yeah, if he can break those guys, 100% chase them off. So very, very good pick here. The Powhawks of Sentinels are pretty much already paid for themselves. Gyrocopters with Brimstone guns cost 800 gold, which is pretty much the cost of these guys. And it looks like the Salamander is still shooting in, but look at this. He only has 11 shots left. He should 100% be shooting the infantry, not those targets. So the Clever Girls, in the meantime, going to be surging up and around the flanks, going to be trying to collapse on miners, which isn't a bad idea. And the Saurus and the company are going to be getting into the main combat. Taking some fire here from the Rangers, but it looks like the Dinosaurs are getting in there pretty good. Dwarf Lord is going to be kind of holding it down. And the Salamander's in good shape. The Feral Bastillodon's going to be coming in. I really like using the Feral Bastillodons as kind of a cheap, just, monster to pressure the back line of the Dwarves. I mean, if you lose it, it's not a big deal, right? It's only 650. It's cheaper than Saurus. So the frontline fighting's underway. Saurus are going to be grinding it out with Longbeards. The Red Crested Skink Chief's going to be getting in there, hopefully having some fun. And Curse of the Midnight Wind is going to be getting dropped on the center pocket of the Dwarves. A great value right there. It's able to hit the Longbeards. It hits the other Longbeards here, which is going to make them very buttered up targets. So the Bastillodons are going to be getting in there, causing some problems. A-Move Hacker needs to switch these range tools on top of the Bastillodons, most likely. I mean, you need to put those guys down. A beautiful Wind Blast as well. So El Halcon coming in with pressure from a multitude of angles. You can see right here, the Feral Cold Ones are going to be jumping into the back line, just feasting on the souls, getting some really good damage against these Thunders. The Slayers are going to be surging forward, but there's a lot of threats everywhere. El Halcon is doing a beautiful job of just sending things in everywhere, just causing problems. But look at this. On the other side, A-Move Hacker responding in kind. You get some beautiful volleys right here on top of this this Bastillodon, who's going to be moving into the front line. But yeah, the Red Crested Skink Chief's having some problems here, but that's to be expected. They're very, very cheap. The Salamander hasn't really done much yet. He should be just probably shooting at some of these missile units right here, going after Altar's Raiders and all these bad boys. But the Clever Girls are really causing a lot of problems in the back line. These Velociraptors are just rampaging. They're just feasting. And I think this is one of the MVPs so far for El Halcon. A-Move Hacker does have some Slayers in the backfield who have tied up this Feral Bastillodon. They're going to be able to drag that thing down pretty quick. It is rampaging now, and it looks like the Altar's Rangers, or just the Rangers, are going to be getting into melee. No, they're going to be switching and throwing their axes. And A-Move Hacker, in the meantime, is going to be moving his Thunders back. Oh, no, another beautiful Wind Blast coming in right there, just doing a ton of damage. So very close fight here. Very, very even. You can see that the Gyrocopter in the back is going to be jumping on top of the Salamander, but Salamanders have really good AP and are actually not pushovers in melee, so they're easily going to be able to kill these guys. And the Powhawks of Sentinels going to be jumping in as well on top of the Brimstone guns, and they're going to be buttering that sweet bread pretty badly. In the front line, Red Crested Skink Chiefs in a very, very close fight here with Longbeards. Saurus Warriors are doing okay, but Longbeards are stalwart folk, especially when backed up by this Dwarf Lord here. And it looks like in the back line, there might be some stabilization from the Dwarves. A-Move Hacker is very, very good at this, getting his troops back online. But look at this. There's also some surging forth from the Saurus Warriors with shields and some of these Skinks getting into the back line. So, I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the back line yet. The Powhawks of Sentinels easily going to be able to finish off another Gyrocopter. And remember, you still have another, Salamander to deal with, even in melee combat. Oh no, this is the perfect target. Wind Blast coming in. So Wind Blast plus that burst damage coming in from the Salamander. The 1-2 punch. Beautiful play right there from El Halcón. He's just coming in, Wind Blasting these Dwarves. But, I mean, the Dwarves are so resilient. They're so tough to take out. In the back line, Dwarf Warriors are going to be able to easily fend off these Skink cohorts. But look at this. This horde of just nasty Skinks just chasing down these Altars Raiders, taking the missile pressure off the front line. And the Red-Crested Skink Chief, he's actually helping out quite a bit. He's got his club. Does he have a club? Looks like he has a club. I'm going to take a sip of water right here, guys. This is the second best of 3 of the day between El Halcón and Emu Packer. Clan mates, we have 2 clan wars today. We actually had 2 clan mates in both first matches playing each other. So the Ancient Salamander plus the Powhawk the Sentinels in the back are able to clean up the Gyrocopter with the Brimstone gun. So very, very good catch right there. And the Slayers are still working on this Feral Bastillodon, so it's been quite some time. And this thing's just been terrorizing. And look at this. I mean, El Halcón doing such a good job just being aggressive and pushing into the back line. He is relentless with staying on top of these missile units. And look at this. There's actually another Bastillodon back who could cause some problems over here. And the Dwarven front line, that's really going to be the name of the game. Can they hold? I mean, the back line's kind of in shambles and it's a bit chaotic. But it looks like the dinosaurs are going to be able to take this one slowly and just grind it out. I mean, I just don't see how the Dwarves are going to be able to deal with, like, just all this pressure coming back here. I mean, there's so many Saurus. The Ancient Salamander is pretty much full health, and it's actually a pretty good AP monster itself when it fights. So at 95 armor, the only thing that can really kill this are probably going to be Thunders or Slayers. And he still has some Thunders back online. It's just such a close game. I mean, Emu Packer's doing a pretty good job stabilizing his back line. I mean, it's really hard to do that for Dwarves. Like when you have that much pressure coming in, to be able to keep guns online at this point in the game is quite impressive. So right here, Emu Packer is going to be getting some Last Samurai volleys. These brave Dwarven Thunder is going to be shooting into the Feral Bastillodon, who's getting pretty low. 900 HP, give or take. It's shaking and breaking potentially. And the Dwarf Warriors are going to be holding back the Tide of Saurus. Powhawks and Sentinels going to be coming in as well. These guys actually might have a rock drop, which could be quite useful. We're going to see, though. They're probably just going to be diving in melee combat against the Thunders because the Raiders are out of ammo, so probably not worth focusing them. Oh, dropping some rocks right there on those guys. Might actually be able to break them. So the Altars Raiders get some fat rocks dropped on their head. There's Skinks coming back in who are able to chase off those Thunders. Oh, man, the backline for the Dwarves is falling apart, guys. Just slowly, just this grind. Brutal stuff. In the front line, you can see there's still a fight. And the Ancient Salamander is such a good pick against Dwarves because he's also an AP monster. So he's going to be able to fight once he runs out of ammo. He's very quick, so he can easily keep away from Slayers and things like that, and almost serves as like a backline harass tool at a certain point. So he's going to be tail whipping these guys, feasting on their souls. Oh my god, he just ate that dwarf. Damn nature, you scary. So that guy's doing some work. Backline getting a little bit grindy. Feral Bastillodon and Saurus Warriors, but Saurus are pretty much made for the grind. Powhawks and Sentinels are able to clean up all the guns. The Skink Priest is able to chase down the Thunders. I think this is one of the first times in some time I've seen Emu Packer lose with his Dwarves. So quite an impressive performance here from Halcón. You can see the Red-Crested Skink Chief's going to be coming back. And the Dwarf Lord is just going to be left in the Shadow Realm. There's no point to fight him. I mean, just leave him for last and just kind of surround him and finish off all the other Dwarves if you can. Ooh, and a huge Curse of the Midnight Wind is going to be going down. This is going to be a buttery cast. Getting all these Dwarves, lowering their armor, lowering their melee attack. That is going to be huge value right there. Now, the bounce power is ebbing even more and more into the favor of the dinosaurs here. You can see in the distance we do have the skink cohorts with javelins, and it looks like some of the red-crested skinks are in pretty good shape. They're probably going to be coming back in to fight this. I mean, there is a bastion of dwarves. There's quite a few of these bad boys. We got some Longbeards here. We have some Dwarf Warriors over here. Powhawks Sentinels going to be charging in, and they're actually pretty good melee, I mean, as far as these type of units go. 31, 32, or 32, 31, and 65 for their combat stats. Saurus Warriors are in good health here. There's a full health Salamander. I mean, that is going to be so tough to take out because most of the Slayers are pretty much gone. There's only 13 of them, so it's going to be tough for those Slayers to kind of handle that type of a load. So Longbeards are still fighting. We've got some Dwarf Warriors still going in deep here, and looks like the Dwarf Lord, I mean, there is a chance that Emu Packer could bring this back. If this Dwarf battle actually goes pretty well here in the center, and he's able to somehow kill this Red-Crested Skink Chief with his Dwarf Lord, maybe, but man, there's just, there's a lot of, like, loose dinosaurs around the battlefield. And I think that El Halcón needs to get the Salamander back there because the Dwarves might be able to actually get some value right here in this battle if they're able to kind of win this, because there's still a lot of these bad boys. Bastillodon's going to be coming in. The Terror could start to play a factor. Longbeards, of course, are immune to psychology, so that's going to be pretty big value right there. And the Red-Crested Skink Chief could potentially take a lot of damage from the Dwarf Lord. He's a pretty good duelist. He does have the Warrior's Crest, I think. It looks like he didn't bring it, so he just popped the Focused Instincts to kind of de-rampage these monsters. And you can see here the Feral Bastillodon is actually going to be rampaging. Not rampaging, but shattering and running away. The other Feral Bastillodon is going to be coming in. I think that El Halcón probably is going to need these Powhawks and Sentinels to jump in here and maybe attack these Dwarf Warriors just to get a little bit more punch. But the Bastillodon, the Terror, is going to be substantial against Dwarf Warriors and Miners. Of course, they're not immune to psychology, so that is a pretty big factor. So the Dwarf Lord does get knocked over by this glorious Bastillodon. But even though these guys didn't get a lot of kills here, a pretty good little distraction, like I said. For 650 gold, you're getting a pretty, decent, beefy unit. It's not going to get a lot of kills, but it is going to be able to kind of draw your opponent's attention and allow your resources to go elsewhere. So well played, guys. Well played to both players. That was a fierce cockfight. I mean, all these battles are fierce cockfights. And yeah, El Halcón able to come in wide with, made very use of clever girls, beautiful salamander play. The Powhawks' Sentinels were like an MVP. If he didn't have those Sentinels to kind of chase off the 2 gyrocopters, that could have been pretty disastrous for sure. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. El Halcón is going to be going up 1-0 here. Let's get the blocker, and we're going to be jumping back to the lobby where the players will be picking their next factions. To answer your question, I don't think Lizardmen need to be tuned down at all. I think they're in a pretty good place. That was a very even game between 2 evenly matched players. I think that Lizardmen are good. Maybe a couple like Skaven units might need to be, like Natty Bubos or Doom players, but aside from that, I think that Lizardmen are in a very good place. I don't think they need to be changed. That's just my opinion. So now, change map. The brave Jawi will be avenged. It was quite a good game. It was quite a good game. Very, very close one. We'll see what the Gobbo King has waiting. He's probably watching and scheming right now. Just doing it to it. All right, 1 second, guys. Sending messages to the competitors. Oh, the blocker. So I put up a screen blocker, Blake, because if one player decides to watch the stream, they could technically see what the other player's picking. So just in case. Stuart Morris, you're here. Welcome. Yeah, that army was pretty good. I mean, both players had solid forces. Yeah, it was a really close fight. The clever girls and feral Bastillodons. I mean, who would have thought? He made those things look really good. Yes. So now A move picks and bans a single race. And we're going to get it going. Don't worry, before the end of the stream, I will drop a link to the Discord. As a matter of fact, I could probably do that right now. So hold on a second, guys. I don't know if there's any mods in chat now, so I'll take it upon myself here. All right. Here we go. Probably going to play my own voice, which is always weird. All right. It is a surprisingly haggard screen blocker, which is quite thematic for my channel, I think. And we're back. We're back in action. So A move is going to be picking dinosaurs, and he bans Skaven. Not a bad idea. All right, guys, going to grab some water real quick, and I will be back in just a moment. I return. Hey guys, how's it going? We're back in action. Yeah, salamanders are a really fun unit for sure. So let me go ahead and get this a little bit cleaner. I mean, it doesn't need to be like so massive. Let's go ahead and just trim it up a little bit. I'm actually gonna have Lady Turin make a custom one of these so it doesn't look as haggard, but yes, yes. So it looks like it's gonna be vampire counts facing off against lizardmen. Now, that is very interesting, because I personally think that the new worst matchup for the vampire counts is actually the Lizardmen. Lizardmen with Lord Croak and like just Temple Guard can just shit all over vampire counts. It is such a hard matchup, so I'm really surprised to see this here. And for anyone, again, we got some new people joining. As far as the format goes, this is the Eternal Challenger League. It's going to be 8 weeks in total. 9 weeks, actually. So 8 weeks of qualifiers. It's going to be every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the winner of each of these qualifiers is going to be playing in a grand tournament at the end in week 9, which, well, not week, won't be the 9th week. It'll be like the 9th event. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of fun. So we are in the second one right now. Gobble King did win the first best of 3 to move on to the finals to face the winner of this best of 3 right here. So if El Halcon is able to win this, which I think is going to be a super uphill battle for him with this, but if he wins and is able to pull this out, I'm going to be super impressed. I will be super impressed. But nonetheless, we got 8 weeks of competition. We do, of course, have a plaque of Tehenowin, if you guys haven't seen the tablet. Zyphos qualified last week, so Zyphos is going to be in the grand finals, and the winner of today will be earning the 2nd spot. Should be quite a bit of fun, so stay tuned for that, guys. It's going to be an ongoing series here. Keeping that Total War Warhammer, quote-unquote, esports alive. Trying to. Seeing how it goes. Yeah, we got Lizards again. Lizards are quite popular, but I really think he just picked he had the counter pick, and he kind of countered himself, I think, but... I mean, maybe El Halcon knows something I don't. The Amazing Bros, what's going on, man? Watching from the Philippines, huh? Mabuhay, my friend. Mabuhay. You know what's something really interesting? The Amazing Bros. Who are watching from the Philippines. One of my first jobs out of college, I used to work at I worked at a Filipino newspaper as a copywriter. Yeah, I forgot to unlock Tic-Tac-Toe. So here in Los Angeles, there was a Filipino newspaper, and I used to be a copywriter, like an editor, and write articles and stuff. Very interesting. It was a lot of fun. Great food. We used to eat like lumpia. Oh god, lumpia Shanghai. They used to get that like catered every Friday, and like pancit and like all that stuff. God, it was so good. The only time I ever got like heavy, like kind of chunky in my life was when I worked at the Filipino newspaper. Like they used to bring in catering, and it was just all this good ass food. Oh god, I got so fat. It was so good. Yeah. Mabuhay, my friend. So, fun story for you there. Counts versus Lizards has always been a grind. Yeah, no, it's really tough though. Honestly, like I was testing this matchup with a few folks, and if you just spam like Croak, you could get, whatever, Red Crested Skink Chief on the Stegodon, like Temple Guard, Star Chamber Guardians, like you just spam Croak's bombs and just like kill everything. It is nasty. Magic D, thank you, brother, for the 20. Magic D coming in with the steel chair, $20 donation. Or 20, I can't quite see from here. The laptop's kind of far away, but it looks like it's going to be euros. 20 euros. Thank you, man. Really appreciate the donation. I know Filipino food is so good, though. Oh, God, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, Terror guys do have anti-large, but nonetheless, Croak is just so good at murdering Vampire Count's infantry. Like, you could literally just methodically go through their entire force and kill all their infantry, like one-shot them. It is so nasty. So I'm really eager to see. But if he doesn't bring that build, who knows? Maybe he's not privy to it. Maybe it's winnable if A-Move Hacker doesn't bring a build like that. Yeah. Oh, man. Blood Knights aren't bad here, but again, against like Temple Guard, Helm's Deeps. So he did bring basically that force. It's a little bit different because he brought more... he brought Salamanders, which I usually don't bring because it's just kind of a vulnerable piece of your army. But yeah, this is going to be pretty nasty for sure. So for the armies of A-Move Hacker, who's going to be playing the Dinosaurs, he is down a game. So coming in with a pretty aggressive force here. He does have Lord Croak. Going to be dropping some Lizard Bombs for sure. Lord Croak just knows how to go balls deep into the vampires. That is like his specialty. On top of that, we do have a Slime Mage Priest with Light. Going to be dropping Baroness Time Warp on the front line, which is super good. Just buffing up Temple Guard and these other troops. Oh god, this is so gross. He's just going to have like this dirty ass Helm's Deep here, which, is how you do it. So he's got his Slann Helm's Deep, and on top of that, he does have a Salamander Hunting Pack and the Ancient Salamander, who are going to be a little bit in the open. They can hide in the center kind of, but if they're in the center here, they're not going to have the best, positioning. So the Salamanders and an Ancient Salamander, you're getting anti-large here, you're getting fire damage, a ton of value against vampire counts if it can be kept online. Ancient Salamander just Shreks the infantry. It's a really good build. He does also have some Chameleons to poke down bats, and the Powhawks and Sentinels up in the skies to just poke and harass. Now for the forces of El Halcon here, man, I am concerned for him. I do not know how you can win this matchup. It feels so hard. I think it's winnable, but you have to play like a very nasty style of play. Oh man, Strigoi Vampire Lord doesn't have any magic? Who's this caster? Oh, he's got a Necromancer, okay, on a Chariot. So he does have the Strigoi Vampire Lord, a great anti-large tool. This guy hits hard, he has breath attacks, he's a very, very good duelist with poison. Front line's going to be zombies, skeleton, spears. On top of that, he has a couple Graveguard with great opens, which might be a saving grace. He does also have a Vargulf. Now, I actually think Vargulfs might be one of the keys to doing well here. They're able to actually do some pretty decent damage and push through Temple Guard and things like that. But killing all those Temple Guard is going to be a huge burden here. So I personally think this is one of the hardest matchups. I know I've said that 100 times, but if the Vampires can win this, I'm going to be super impressed by that. Start when ready. A-Move Hacker coming in with the box of doom. I think he has the Star Chamber Guardians. Yeah, he does. He does have those guys. You guys are going to see the Vampire Count's infantry just get like more like a pro Pentagon, am I right? Yes. Yeah, you can go Mass Air as well, but I really think this is the most optimal way to play against Vampire Counts. I usually don't bring the Salamanders because it gives Vampire Counts some open field targets, but I don't know. Should be pretty good. And if you did have like I personally think Manfred is the best pick here because Fade Abuna is so good against these elite infantry. Like that's how you do it. You get Manfred, you Fade Abuna to like 3 Temple Guard before you even start fighting. Use all your breath attacks, and then from there you kind of wage your way in and just try and get some damage. I think breath attacks are pretty much a staple at winning this matchup now. But the Terror guy's going to be swooping forward. Powhawks and Sentinels getting a little bit of poke back here. We're going to see how it goes. This is the second best of 3 of the day. Yeah, this is a really hard matchup for the Vampires. Extremely hard. So the Salamander are going to be dropping some fire here on some of the Fellbats. They're able to juke that out, of course. They're not. Salamanders are meant against infantry. Ancient Salamanders are meant versus like more tightly packed stuff. And the Salamander Hunting Pack is an anti-large specialist. So, little skink bastard's going to be shooting up at the Strigoi. He has 80 armor, so he's not as heavily armored as some of his cousins here, but he's able to get that. I mean, he's not wearing any armor. This guy literally has like a rag on his back. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot against this Helm's Deeper, I don't think. I mean, maybe just jumping in and sniping out like Croak and the Slann and then pulling back and forcing a war of attrition. I really think he needs to get in here and just pressure, though. Like, fly the Fellbats into these guys and maybe just start getting some breath attacks on Croak Daddy. Like, you got to kill Croak. He's just Banishment as well. I mean, there's a Banishment. There's a Blood Statue of Spite. There's just so many nasty tools here. A-Move Hacker just, farming this Helm's Deep here, which is going to be really tough. Yes, A-Move Hacker did play Dwarfs. He actually lost his game with the Dwarfs against El Halcon's Lizardmen. So the first volley is going to be coming in from the Salamander against Skeleton Spears. The Skinks are going to be poking up in the skies. There's no Direwolves or no like really heavy mobile pressure here, so he's not going to be able to catch these the Salamanders easily. I really think the Dire Pack would have been pretty good. Blood Knights, probably not because of all the Temple Guard and things like that. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a really tough situation. I hope someone is eventually able to figure out this matchup. So the Salamander Hunting Pack is going to be shooting at the Vargulf here, which is going to be quite good. And this other Ancient Salamander is going to be going in and trying to shoot at the Necromancer here, who's trying to juke. You can see that El Halcon is going to be dropping some sweet moves right there. And the Vargulf is also going to be swooping in. And here comes Big Papa Terror, guys, thinking about jumping in there, but going to be pulling back at the last second. And he's able to dodge out those shots right there, but it looks like, oh, never mind, the shots might have been going over there. So there's going to be a buff going down. It looks like it's going to be an Arcane Conduit or some sort of witchcraft going on from these Slann right here. Yeah, it was an Arcane Conduit, so that is going to be getting dropped. And the Vampire's taking their time getting in position here. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Oh, God. Oh, that's not good. Oh, and he gets netted, too. So he's just going to get pound-towned right now. So A-Move Hacker dropping a fat, thick net on the Strigoi Ghoul King, or Strigoi Vampire Lord. He's just going to be getting just shanked from every angle. Oh, God, that's so gross. Oh, God, Lizardman Firepower. Oh, man, that is really foul. I mean, that honestly could lose him the game right there. That honestly could lose him the game. So the Strigoi Vampire Lord is going to be getting slapped with an Invocation of Heck, but that's going to push him towards his healing cap really fast. And the Terror guy should really just attack right now. I mean, just jump down there and maybe go after these guys. The poison is so obnoxious, though. The Powhawks and Sentinels are, like, poisoning him and kiting him. He has 69 speed, that's what she said. Oh, man. Yeah, you can do a similar build like this, but cut the Salamanders and just get the Carnosaurs. That's actually what I usually do, is I get this build and then I bring 2 Feral Carnosaurs. It's really hard to beat. Because Feral Carnosaurs can beat down Vargulfs, they can beat down Terror guys, all that kind of stuff. So Salamander's going to be shooting downtown, going into the Necromancer. It looks like the first cast of Croak. I don't know why he's casting it right now. I mean, it's just zombies right there. Probably not worth it. It's going to pop some of the zombies. It doesn't do friendly fire damage, but... Okay, so El Halcon is going to be baiting out a couple attacks there, which is pretty good. He does waste some Winds of Magic, which is quite nice. Fellbats are actually attacking as well. Fellbats should be attacking the Powhawks and Sentinels for sure. So it looks like he's going to be trying to chase off all of the riffraff before he takes the main fighting. And the Slann taking a little bit of free damage, actually. So yeah, dodging that Croak attack was quite valuable. Croak is going to be dropping more bombs here in a moment, I'm sure, and it looks like there's going to be a Fat Breath attack coming down from the Strigoi Vampire Lord. At this point, attacking some of the Slann would probably be a good idea, since he's able to kind of corral these troops on the far side. And it looks like there's going to be another cast going down right now, a Banishment. So El Halcon, very quick on his reactions, pulling back. So this is beautiful play. He's doing very good. He pulls back. He's able to pretty much take no damage from Croak so far. So the Vampire Count's troops might actually be able to get on the appropriate targets and grind this out. But look at that. Supreme Shield to the old ones, if you guys take like a big overhead look, it's actually like hitting the entire Lizardmen army, which is so nasty. 44% ward save for like a long ass time is really good. So everyone's going to be pulling into the Death Star here. And the Strigoi Vampire Lord's going to be jumping in to attack some of these Star Chamber Guardians. We do have that 44% ward save right now. God damn, that is nasty. But, you know, I have to say, El Halcón is doing a beautiful job dodging all these attacks here. He's dodged, like, every single one of Croak's attacks. I mean, he took a couple light hits here, but his micro is on point. Like, he is just not screwing around here. So he's might be able to grind this out. I mean, if he doesn't lose his infantry to Croak, he could eventually win this. That's the big thing, really. Like, a lot of people have trouble dodging that because vampires are pretty slow. Like, if you were to drop it right here, you're probably guaranteed to get some value. Supreme Shield of the old one's going to be going down in the Aura of Pretzel, so that's what makes his build so strong, is you get, like, all these AoE buffs, like the shield, the auras. Barona's Time Warp has also gone down, which is really going to juice up the infantry here. But I have to say, I think that El Halcón is like playing so damn good. He's being like very conservative, not like committing to big Haggard Alpha strikes. He's just like kind of playing slow, grinding it out like the Vampire Count should. And this is a matchup that I think is very, you know, it's a very uphill one. So in the distance here, there's going to be, looks like a banishment going down to the Vampire. So for the first time, A-Move Hacker does get some pretty good value with one of his banishments. The ones before that and the Croak abilities hadn't done too much, but does kill quite a few Graveguard right there. The Vargolf in there is going to be doggy pounding some of these Saurus Warriors, but he's going to be getting netted and hit by all the Salamanders, but some nice summons in the back as well. So this is a good opportunity for the Strigoi Vampire Lord to actually get in there and maybe start hurting the Salamanders, because the Temple Guard are too tied up. They're not going to be able to fall back. So I'd probably get in there with the Vampire Lord and attack. Maybe go after the Hunting Packs or the Ancient Salamander. Some of the Spears are going to be piling in as well. And yeah, now he's going to be going. So the Strigoi Lord is going to be jumping on top of Lord Croak. Honestly, killing the Ancient Salamander I think would be a really good choice. Just jumping on that bad boy, because the Salamander is going to be attacking you. He does fire damage. The Strigoi is weak to fire. There's a couple of variables there that are very scary, but Croak is actually taking a bit of a beating. So the Vampires are doing very good. I mean, it's a masterclass. I mean, here El Halcón is able to dodge a lot of the attacks. The Lizards are holding in their Helm's Deep box here. But man, he's really playing like on point today. I mean, he's still, you know, maybe in trouble here, but it seems like the Lizards are getting grinded down. The Strigoi Vampire Lord is able to get some really good value against Lord Croak. He's got him down to half health. The other Terror guys probably needs to get engaged here. I would like to see him, you know, jump in and fight and help the Strigoi Vampire Lord, because like the two of them could easily kill Croak like very, very quickly. Another Vortex Belt's going to be coming down right here, but El Halcón he's not missing a beat. God damn, every time that happens, he just catches it. I have to say, this is some, like, his awareness is so good. And A-Move Hacker is going to be withdrawing. He's going to be giving up. El Halcón coming in, just dodging every single Croak ability. Every single one. Coming in, basically, I mean, the game probably was over at that point. The Terrorgeist on all the single entities were very healthy. Damn, I have to say, El Halcón, I'm very, very impressed. So he's going to be moving on to the Grand Finals to face off against Gobbo King. So this is going to be a good one. So well played to A-Move Hacker and El Halcón here. And GG. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. All right, so Gobbo has a lobby. Let me double check. Jump out here. So Gobbo King is going to be hosting the next lobby. We're going to go ahead and update the scoreboards for today. That is me. That is the wrong desk. I'm clicking the wrong button. So El Halcón is going to be advancing to the finals to face off against the Gobbo King. Yes. That was an amazing game. that was like some seriously good micro. Like dodging all those attacks was quite incredible. So, all right, so we're going to be moving on to the grand finals here. ECL lobby final. Big thanks to the Gobbo King for helping organize all that today. So we're going to go ahead and update the scoreboard here in just a moment. It'll be good and tasty. Ah, I can do it beforehand. Clever, clever, clever. Gobbo King has Clan Angren picked at the moment, so maybe he's thinking he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Who knows? We'll just put Gobbo King for short. And great, and then we can go ahead and put... My apologies, I'm not sure how to type the different accents over the characters in El Halcón's name, so I do sincerely apologize for that. We're back. We just got to update the scoreboard a little bit more. There we go. We'll get the blocker up. So Gabo picks first and bans. He says, hey champ, I'm back. No memes now. First map we're going to have him on is Eshin. Man, these players are ready to roll. I do think the build that A-Move Hacker brought is a little bit better if you actually bring the Feral Carnosaurs instead, because you can pretty much keep the Terrorgeist at bay while everything else cleans up shop. So we're going to see what the Gobbo King is going to be picking here. It's going to be good. Man, what a cockfight we've had today. He says, I'll go Empire and ban Dwarfs. El Halcón is going to be picking here. Let's see what he gets. El Halcón's dodges were beautiful, for sure. It was masterful. And it's going to be Norsca versus Empire. That's a really fun matchup, actually. I think it's actually an extremely even matchup. So I'm glad that this first game here is going to be one that both players are happy with. It is the real Gobbo King. Yeah, he won the first series 2-0 in a very good match versus Lumberjacks. It was amazing. And now he's going to be fighting El Halcón here in the finals, which is a best of 5. And we're an hour and 15 minutes. We're keeping some pretty good pace. So it's going to be Empire versus Norsca. Pick armies and start when ready. Big thanks to everyone for joining today. It's good to see some familiar faces, some new faces in here. It's always a pleasure to meet some folks in the community. And we also do have a PayPal donation coming in. We had a couple that I did miss. So one of them is going to be from Victor, I believe. Oh God, I hope I'm not mangling your name. It's a little bit tough for Victor, I think. For the $10, thank you so much for that. And then also 20 Great British Pounds from Tobias Peel. So Tobias and Victor, thank you guys so much for your very generous donations. I do appreciate it. You guys rock. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream, and we're here. No rush. Take your time, brother. Breaking news. This action has the Emperor's consent. For the twin-tailed comet. Yeah, remember to drop a like, too. If you guys do enjoy, competitive Total War Warhammer 2 commentary, content, all that good stuff, drop a like. It lets me know that people still enjoy these events and whatnot. So it does help out quite a bit. So we got Gojira in chat. Hey, Gojira, if you could drop a link to the Discord, I would greatly appreciate that, actually. Oh, man. I'm excited to see this build. You know, one of my favorite things about this matchup for the Empire is it gives you all the excuses to use like heavy cav, like Empire Knights, Knights of the Blazing Sun, Denver Knights, all that good stuff. It is extremely fun. It's always a good time. So second week here of the Eternal Challenger League, Season 2. We got 6 more weeks of qualifiers left. There might be a bit of a break for one weekend when I'm out of town. I think I might be traveling, so. We actually have some really fun events coming up for you guys in the next couple weeks as well. Actually, I think there might be a break next weekend because I'm going to be doing another event. I'm not sure. I'll let you guys know in the community section and all that. I know, that is a grudge. 958 people watching and there's only 177 likes. That is treachery. What can you do, man? You can't win them all. Can't win them all. I do appreciate it, though, guys. It's good times for all. Hey, Gojira, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You know, somebody went in, somebody in my stream yesterday was like, I was streaming, 2 nights ago, I was streaming Warcraft 3, and somebody kept donating like $1, and they kept saying like invite Gobbo King to the Eternal Challenger League. It was pretty funny. Empire has a couple options. Magic D, thank you again. An extra 10 to show my support. Also, Gobbo is back. He is. Well, Gobbo King has a channel. For anyone who doesn't know, Gobbo King, if you go to YouTube, and he doesn't put up uploaded battles anymore, he streams only, so. He streams almost every day, quick battles, and also he streams other content like other RTS games and games he's interested in. So if you guys want, there will be a link to Gobbo King's channel in the post video. But if you guys want to go look now, he does have a channel. So yeah, I've known Gobbo for quite some time, since the early days. I think I first met Gobbo when I had like, man, a couple thousand subs. That sounds like fun, Luke. All right, it's showtime. Let's get rid of the screen blocker. Game 1 between the Gobbo King, The first ever chosen, facing off against El Halcón, an up-and-coming challenger. And he's going to be playing Wolfric, which makes sense in the Eternal Challenger League, challenging one of the great champions of the Ever Chosen, the Gobbo King, so this should be quite a bit of fun. Now for the forces of the Gobbo King. He's actually going to be going with a Rohirrim army, so he does have Karl Franz up in the sky, and of course he has very good micro, so he's going to be able to handle this. He's got Demogryph Knights with halberds, two groups of the Knights of the Blazing Sun, two Outriders, so it's going to be the armor-piercing variant against Famir and heavy troops. He's got a Bright Wizard as well, probably for Fireball and Burning Head. And yeah, so 3 Pistoliers, 2 Outriders, 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun, 2 Demogryph Knights in the back, so I mean, he technically has answers for everything. Against light infantry, he has Pistoliers and Knights of the Blazing Sun. Against heavy troops, he has Outriders and Demogryph Knights and Karl. I mean, it's a well-rounded army for, I mean, not well-rounded per se, but it's a cav-centric army, but again, it has answers for pretty much everything. So this is going to be a pretty badass battle for sure. If you guys want to see a showcase of micro, this is it. And for the forces of El Halcón, he's going to be just going straight up balls deep in the werewolves. So he's got Skinwolves in the back, Skinwolves here. He does have the Maws of Savagery and more Skinwolves up in the top. Here we do have a Shaman Sorcerer with metal, and it looks like Wolfric's going to be on a Chariot as well. So these guys aren't going to be super useful here. Now, Chariots are not good against cav units or more against infantry, but oh man, this is going to be an interesting battle. I really have no predictions. Front line, just all Marauders and just Berserkers, a couple Marauder Hunters with Javelins as well, who are very good against cav units. So if they're able to kind of sit and fire, that could be quite good. But man, this is going to be an intense battle for sure. It's going to be an intense battle. Yeah. I don't know what to say about this one. I really have no predictions. It is a lot of cav units for sure. The Pistoliers are going to be quite good against the werewolves. They only have 15 armor, so Pistoliers can really chew those guys out pretty quick. But again, if El Halcón is able to kind of screen effectively and countercharge Gobbo King's cav with his own werewolves and pin them in place while javelining them, he could have a pretty good chance here. But oh man, this is going to be tough. He could just run him out of ammo too. I mean, if the Pistoliers and Outriders do run out of ammo and they're not used efficiently, I mean, it's going to severely weaken Gobbo's army. So maybe just screening and playing patiently is the right way to do it. I'm not sure. So Gobbo King's going to be surging forth using the brave Pistoliers of the Empire, looking for some good targets. And we're going to see if these guys get in position here. The Norskins are going to be screening, or turning to screen. They obviously don't want to be like kind of partially up on a hill here. So they're going to be turning about face to face the Gobbo King. He's got his Javelins mixed in the front lines. And behind each group of Javelins, it looks like he does have some Werewolves, which is very nice. So we could kind of like scoot forward and start using some Javelin play. But Pistoliers have 80 range, Javelins have 90, but Outriders have 135. So you could potentially outrange him with the Outriders. So there's a little bit of a case to be made there. So Pistoliers are going to be scooting in, taking some pot shots here at the Marauder Hunters with Javelins, trying to force those guys forward. Outriders and company going to be doing it. And it looks like El Halcón is going to be moving forward with his forces. He's going to be attacking. Wolfric in the back is like, oh shit, we have a lot of angry Empire dudes here. On El Halcón's caster, he does have the Glittering Robe, which is going to help the werewolves in combat, and he does also have the Plague of Rust, which is very, very good for the Javelins, who have relatively low AP values. Yeah, so the forces are coming in here. Gobbo King's going to be maybe doing a flank overload. Karl Franz could potentially kind of swoop in here and do some work. The Pistolier is going to be shooting at the backs of these Marauder Hunters with Javelins. Outriders could outrange them too, which I would probably just shoot these guys with Outriders, but look at this. Gobbo King knows that Javelins just don't have like good arc pursuit, so he's going to be kind of pulling back here, getting some really good value into the Marauder Hunters. He's actually able to kill a model, do some pretty good HP damage, and yeah, he's just going to start picking these guys apart. I mean, such good targets. Such good targets. Where are his Outriders? His Outriders, Demogryph Knights are kind of lurking in the back. I think the Outriders are kind of, yeah, they're over here. They're mixed in with the Pistoliers. So he's just going to start shooting this force. El Halcón is going to have to make a decision. Is he going to kind of stand and take it, or is he going to advance? It's going to be a tough situation regardless. Yes. Bans Dwarfs and chooses all cav. Yeah, no, he did ban the Dwarfs. The Dwarfs was his ban for this match. So right here you can see the Norskins might be getting a flank overload. Gobbo King might be kind of rotating his entire army over here to collapse right here and force a fight, at which point a lot of this Norscan army is going to be irrelevant. They're just like out of position, and it looks like a Fireball is going to be getting dropped. Karl's actually going to be teasing a charge, but a Fireball could potentially pick off some of these werewolves right here, and it looks like it is a bit of a swing and a miss, unfortunately. But yeah, so far, not too much damage taken from El Halcón. He's been able to stabilize relatively well, but it looks like there's going to be a fat, erect Empire charge coming in. These Marauders are going to get Shrek'd so bad. They're just going to get annihilated by... Oh, look at this combined charge of Demogryph Knights and Knights of the Blazing Sun. That is a lot of damage, guys. That is a lot of damage coming in. But the werewolves are going to countercharge. But if Karl commits and, like... It's too bad he doesn't have the Flaming Sword of Ruin. That would have been very, very useful in this particular fight. Werewolves here are going to be chasing off the Pistoliers, which is exactly what Pistoliers want, just to kind of kite these guys back. So in the meantime, Pistolier is going to be scooting back as well. Mons of Savagery are armored, so they're not going to be as good of a target, but Goblin King pretty much disengages without taking many losses. And right here, the Skin Wolves, yeah, kind of getting pulled into the open. Oh, this is going to be rough. Karl Franz coming in with the Demogryph Knights. Man, beautiful play from Goblin King. He's able to kind of separate those forces and really just isolate the Skin Wolves here, and they're just getting pounded. And, you know, he has a mobility advantage, and look how much of the Norscan army is just not being used. Over here, he does kind of pull out these guys, the Marauder Hunters with Javelins. Knights of the Blazing Sun get in there and just do so much work against those guys. That is so nasty. And yeah, it seems like the Norscans are kind of getting picked apart a little bit. I mean, some of the werewolves, yeah, completely shattered that group right there. Gobbo did take a little bit of damage back. Those Knights of the Blazing Sun, you know, took some work. Pistoliers just taking those guys to task. And some of the Beasts of Tashnar are able to jump onto the Knights of the Blazing Sun with the help of some of these Skin Wolves, so they might actually be able to get a pick here. So El Halcón is getting some value back where he can. It's certainly not over yet, but the bounce power, I think, is, yeah, pretty much dead even still. And it looks like we do have a bit of a cataclysmic fight right here, as Wulfric is going to be taking a fight against all these angry Cav units. Karl Franz probably going to be swooping back in and finishing off the caster. The Shaman Sorcerer is pretty much a buttered up target right now. I would 100% go after that. Some Berserkers and Marauders are going to be piling in to help out a little bit. Wulfric takes a little bit of work, and it looks like some of the Knights of the Blazing Sun are actually compromised. So if El Halcón is able to get this Werewolf Goon Squad and some of these Skin Wolves and push over here and maybe catch some of these Outriders, or at least pressure them and collapse in the back of the Empire forces, that could be really strong. And remember, Goblin King's army is very small, very elite, so everything that he does lose is like very, very impactful, right? Oh, this could actually be really bad. If Goblin King loses his Jade Wizard here, that could be something that could lose him the game. The Jade Wizard is very essential for keeping Karl Franz and these elite Cav units alive, but it looks like the Jade Wizard for Goblin King is going to be dying. So El Halcón, even though he got put in a very bad situation in the beginning, man, El Halcón is just, you know, fighting back. Whenever he's faced with adversity, he's just scrapping. I mean, both these players just doing a very, very good job. So now it's going to become a very micro-intensive game. Granted, Goblin King does have two casters. He does have a Bright Wizard as well, so at least he's not without magic. Karl's going to be swooping in to fight these werewolves. Pistoliers are going to be getting some shots, but, you know, eventually you're going to have to deal with all these infantry. And if he doesn't have enough, like, knights left and he just has, like, Karl and stuff, he could potentially get dragged down here. So the Goblin King coming in with Karl Franz is going to be clubbing these Skin Wolves. And Demogryph Knights with Halberds in pretty good shape. They're able to make some quick work of these very large, very, very large werewolves. And it looks like Hunter of Champions is going to be getting pops on Karl, which is quite good. The timing is nice, because at this point, the rest of the Empire has to pull back. And if Karl is trapped here, just getting pounded by javelins, his armor is lowered by the Hunter of Champions, that's going to be pretty substantial. So Karl's going to be taking a lot of javelins to the face. The Norscan army is hot in pursuit. Might as well just push and chase. And remember, the Norscan army actually can heal. And the bounce fire is going actually in the favor of the Norscans. They're just slowly grinding down this Imperial force. It's like this inexorable wall of death. The Glittering Robe was also popped right here on Wulfric to make him a little bit tankier before, which is quite a nice play. Karl Franz going to be taking some javelins to the face. Looks like he's just trying to scoot back and forth and regroup a little bit, which isn't a bad idea. So maybe if the Goblin King comes like up and around here, secures an open field position so he can get some better, you know, missile power. Ooh, Fireball's coming in. Fireball's going for the caster. And it looks like it's going to make some good contact, so it does hit the caster right there. Karl Franz is going to be trying to goon out the caster, so just sniping characters is going to be a pretty good choice here. And Pistoliers and company, they probably need to get active again. They're kind of just chilling right now. Demogryph Knights, he has 22 of those. 19 Knights of the Blazing Sun. He does have 8 Demogryph Knights with halberds right there. I don't think he has a Royal Turf Gryphites though, so there's not going to be any like terror coming in from anywhere aside from Karl Franz. Now right here, they're going to be shooting at the Marauder Berserkers. Javelins are still just scooting up. Man, what a game here. What a game. This is just incredibly close. So Karl Franz is going to be swooping around, looking to snipe that caster. He really wants to get that Shaman Sorcerer. I don't blame him. It's a pretty juicy target. I mean, 1 or 2 attacks from Karl Franz, but he does have an escort of werewolves. So the Maws of Savagery and these other guys are going to be able to kind of guard that. Goblin King coming in with a pretty nice little Demogryph Knight charge right here into the Marauders. Able to get some value on those guys. And Karl Franz just getting freebies where he can. And the Berserkers are now going to be rampaging, so he could potentially pull those guys into open field and just kill them, which is going to be good. Werewolves are going to be piling in. Everybody's just advancing. You know, both players just throwing all their spaghetti at the wall here. And here comes another charge. Demogryph Knights going to be taking this fight. Now, do they have some support here? They do have some Overwatch fire coming in, but Demogryph Knights are going to be taking a bit of a hammering from Berserkers and Skin Wolves. I mean, you know, yes, they're armored and Berserkers are low AP, but again, their damage output is just very, very high in general, and there's a lot of Skin Wolves right here, guys. Some of these guys are getting buckled off. A nice little fireball coming in, which does make really good contact right there with the Skin Wolves. So if Karl can actually break these Skin Wolves off, that's going to be quite nice. And look at this. Wulfric is actually getting pounded. Goblin King with some really good focus fire. So his Outriders coming in, shooting down Wulfric. And this is just such a close game. So Wulfric is actually breaking, which is huge. But El Halcón, you know, keeping that pressure on with the rest of his army. He does have all these javelins. These Knights of the Blazing Sun probably going to get Last Samurai here. I mean, they're going to do some damage. But, you know, once El Halcón reacts and takes those guys out with his javelins, it's going to be tough. So Wulfric actually is broken. So at this point, if Karl Franz can pull up in the skies, follow Wulfric and chase him, and make sure he doesn't come back, that's going to be a pretty big blow to Norsca. Now, we do have some Norscan hounds over here. The Beasts of Tashnar are going to be hunting, but look at this. We have some Pistoliers who might be able to help. But yeah, these are like the ideal targets for Pistoliers. Only 15 armor. Carl's going to be going back there to stabilize the situation. So if he goes back there and breaks those guys and kills all the mobile tools of Norsca. Oh, but look at this. Unfortunately, Wulfric did come back, but it looks like he breaks again. I'm not sure why he broke. Over here, it looks like the last of these Demogryph Knights are killed, so we did get Wulfric, but at what cost? You know, he did lose the Demogryph Knights here, so those guys are going to be going down. I mean, arguably it's worth it. Gobbo King is in a bit of a pickle in some situations, though, because he is running low on ammo. So he's got about 40% right here. Right here he has about 50%. I mean, his ammunition situation across the board is relatively tough, I would say. Some of the Beasts of Tashnar are able to jump over here and get on the Pistoliers, but Gobbo King is able to just kind of numbers game them down. So he's going to be using the Pistoliers to chase those guys off the battlefield. So very good play by both players. And this is like, I love these type of games where like at the very end, like both players like have fought hard and now they regroup their armies for the final last stand, right? So Pistoliers and Outriders have good ammo. Pistoliers are a little bit lower because they've been kiting and fighting. Now, Karl Franz is in okay shape. He still has the Bright Wizard. I don't know about his Fireball situation, but Fireball can be super good against Wulfric here. And yeah, both players going to be advancing, I would imagine, in a moment, just letting their armies rest. But the one issue for Gobbo King is the longer that these werewolves rest, the more HP that they're going to be healing. And this group right here, especially, is going to be able to heal up quite far because they still have a high model count. The other two are a little bit beat up, so it's not going to be, that much of an issue. So El Halcón going to be moving a little bit forward. Gobbo King going to be regrouping his forces. It looks like the Outriders are going to be trying to get in position to take out these Skinwolves here on the flank. And yeah, we're going to see. So chat, while we're here, what are your predictions for this game? Do you think Gobbo King's going to be able to pull this one out? Or do you guys think that it's going to be a victory for El Halcón and his massive horde of angry werewolves? Let me know. Quite curious what you guys think. And from here, Gobbo King going to be scooting forward to Pistoliers, getting a bit of a surround, trying to look for those sweet, sweet angles. Obviously, El Halcón can't catch him, so he's just going to be like slowly moving towards some of these troops here to keep the attacker rule in place. Gobbo King probably going to be using the last of his ammunition, I would imagine, just to shoot down the Berserkers and some of these other troops. A very, very tense game between these two players. And the Outriders going to be unloading on Berserkers, which is good. It's free real estate, as they say. So going after the Berserkers here, getting some nice little pot shots. Those werewolves, though, guys, they're healing a lot in the back. And as they heal, it's just going to keep ebbing the bounce of power out of the favor of the Gobbo King, as those werewolves are just going to get stronger and stronger. And I don't know if the remnants of the Empire Cav can deal with them. I mean, what does he have to kill the Skinwolves? He's got beat up Knights of the Blazing Sun. He's got ammo-less Pistoliers. Karl Franz could do an okay job, but yeah, all of his Demogryph Knights and Elite Cav are pretty much dead. So at this point, like, I just don't know what he can do. I don't know what he can do. I just don't think Gobbo has a chance. Yeah, that's what it seems like a lot of you guys in chat are saying. So he's going to get whatever value he can. The Fireball, maybe he's trying to line up some sort of a shot here. If you could snipe Wulfric and get like a mass terror out, maybe there could be some value that could go on here. But yeah, I mean, El Halcón doesn't really have a choice here. He kind of just has to stand and let the last of this ammunition be used. Over here, Pistolier is going to be circling about. He's preparing a last charge. Looks like he's going to go in for a freebie. Going to be trying to get some value, but these Javelins are going to be able to pick him apart if he does charge in there. Probably doesn't want to be shooting the Shielded Marauders. Those guys are going to be quite durable right there. Karl Franz is just going to be leading the back lines, waiting for the opportunity for the Alpha Strike. He's probably going to be throwing everything at the wall. Yeah, he needs silver bullets to kill all these werewolves. Yeah, perhaps so. Perhaps so, my friends. So some shots coming downtown here. Going to be shooting at the Shaman Sorcerer from the Pistoliers. 4 shots left on these guys. These Pistoliers have 4 shots as well. And these ones have a couple shots. They only have 8 volleys left. So they're going to be coming back in to shoot. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't think Gobbo's going to be able to pull it out. I just don't think he has enough stopping power. These Javelins, why don't they throw some Javelins back here? Yeah, throw some shots here. Square up. If they're able to hit that group there, they're going to be able to get some solid kills for sure. And Javelins are going to be screening out these guys. Gobbo's just trying to shoot the werewolves wherever he can, just kind of bobbing and weaving and doing all that kind of stuff. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to. We forgot to actually set the time to infinite, so hopefully we don't actually run into time here. That would be really annoying. Because it's been a really, really good game. So the Pistoliers, using the last of their ammo, making sure to maintain the attacker rule. He is able to pull some of these Marauders out into the open a little bit. So maybe he's going to take some of these Knights of the Blazing Sun and just kind of, go after these guys. Skinwolves have 75 speed, so they could catch the Knights of the Blazing Sun technically. 71 speed on those guys. 84 on a lot of these pistol units, but getting a couple decent volleys here against these Skinwolves. But the Skinwolves should be able to heal through anything that doesn't kill models, which is quite nice. And some of them are getting close to their healing cap. Pistolier is going to be going for those sweet, sweet targets right there. And these ones have 1 shot left. The Outriders have, a fair amount of ammunition. These guys, not so much. They're going to be taking some Javelins to the face. Gobbo King going to be unleashing the last of his volleys here into the Maws of Savagery. But as those werewolves heal, I'm telling you, I mean, there's just way too much, I think. A lot of Gobbo King's army is starting to get a little bit, you know, wavered here. These guys are wavering at 8 leadership, and he really needs these Demogryph Knights too, so if those guys break off the battlefield. It was, yeah, the army had some elements. I wouldn't say his army was a meme. I think Gobbo King's army was very serious, just super micro-intensive. He did a good job with it too, but El Halcón responded in kind. Whenever El Halcón lost a battle, he would concede that battle, and he would get value somewhere else, which was, he didn't try and like throw more things into a losing fight, which I think was a really, really good kind of example of solid play there. So Gobbo pulling back a little bit with Outriders. He does have some over here. Looks like these Pistoliers going to be looking in the back here. El Halcón is just chilling right now. He's probably just like, you know, sound increasingly bored. No, not bored at all. It's the calm, you know. There's no action right now, so what can you be excited about besides the tension? So some of the Knights of the Blazing Sun getting picked off right there. Just crazy stuff. Those guys just taking a ton of damage. I mean, Javelins are so much better than Throwing Axes because of the range and arc of fire. Yeah, he needs to get Wulfric for sure. But, I mean, Berserkers have pretty good leadership, so it's going to be really hard to break those guys. And from here, it looks like Gobbo King might be preparing for a bit of a last stand. He does get some troops around. Karl Franz is going to be going in, trying to snipe out a caster. And he sees the bounce power ebbing out of his favor because the Skinwolves are just healing, so... Yeah, oh man, look how much healing these ones have gotten done. So he goes in with the Pistoliers, which is good. He's going to be tar pitting. He's attacking in the north. This is Gobbo's last stand here. And Karl Franz coming in. Is he going to get the steel chair? He does get the Hunter of Champions. Galmraz is popped. Wulfric gets clubbed by Karl Franz. Brutal stuff. And a Fireball is going to be coming in as well on this lined up group of Werewolves here, doing a ton of damage. A really good play by Gobbo, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Karl Franz might be able to get away here. Maybe. He's shaken, not stirred. Some of the Javelins are going in there, getting him very, very low. He's at -30, and Karl Franz does break, but all the Werewolves are terrified, actually. So if they come back and actually attack him, that could be a little bit scary. And you can see here that these freaking Outriders might be able to charge in there. So Wulfric did go down, but some of the Skinwolves do rally there. So that terror route was pretty scary, but Karl's also broken. So Skinwolves are going to be tearing apart Pistoliers. Pretty much every battle here is going pretty bad for the Empire. And with that, you can see the bounce power does go massively in the favor. That was a good attempt by Gobbo King. You got to give him props, though. That was a really good attempt, like coming in there with that Alpha Strike like that and breaking off all the Skinwolves and those other troops. So Karl Franz does come back somehow. He's probably going to be going after the caster at this point, but there's just so much Norsca left. The Wolf King is dead. Yeah, Karl's going to be breaking again. That's probably going to be army losses here in a moment. He does have a Bright Wizard up in the skies. And, yeah, it looks like the Bright Wizard probably going to be going for some freebies wherever he can. But Karl's most likely going to break off the map. And the Pistoliers or Outriders are just about out of ammunition. And with that, El Halcón is going to take Game 1 in the finals. What a battle. God damn, that was a fierce cockfight. Super micro-intensive. It did get a little bit long and grindy at the end, but man, that was so technical in the beginning. I mean, I loved Gobbo King's initial play of pulling out the Norscan forces, collapsing, outmaneuvering the army, but then Halcón had some really good responses with his Werewolves and the Beast of Tashnar. He did a great job. I mean, both players played a really good game, but the victory is going to be going to El Halcón. Very well played there. And this is a best of 5. So El Halcón is going to be drawing first blood here in this battle. And we're going to get the blocker up, and we're going to go back to the lobby. GG. So the next map we're going to do is going to be the Mushroom Cave. We'll do the Mushroom Cave. It's a fun one. Mushroom Cave is a really fun map. I forgot to mention that to him earlier, so we'll get it going. Yeah, those wolves, like in that long game, those guys can do some serious work. So, all right. So here we have Halk, Pick, and Ban, and it is best of 5. Yes. Don't worry, we got it. That was a really close game. Finals are always best of 5 in the Eternal Challenger League. El Halcón maybe has some strategy afoot. And he's going to be doing his picks and bans now, so pretty curious to see. Yeah, I know, he's playing really well. I know, I'm hoping we see greenskins from the Gobbo King. I do. Especially in the Mushroom Cave. That's the den of his people. Mushroom Cave sounds like a dirty and somewhat gross euphemism. Oh man. Yeah, I see where you're going. Yeah, both players. I mean, everyone today putting on a pretty good show. Goblin King gets the home field advantage. Yeah, he does kind of, doesn't he? He does have the home field advantage. So El Halcón still deciding what he's going to play. Just sitting on Wood Elves right now, idly. But I don't believe that's who he's going to play. I don't think this is the matchup. He's still deciding on the pick. Goblin King putting the pressure on him, asking who he's going to pick. We'll give you the play-by-play of the comment of the chat here up in the top left. He says, "I'm thinking." He's Goblin King says Dwarfs. Dwarfs OP. Dwarves are very good. All Goblin Army. Goblin Army could work against Wood Elves. It'd be a little bit tricky, but it could work. Like smoke bombs, shielded infantry, numbers, doomdiver catapults. Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of games here lately with El Halcón, and he's a I hope I'm saying his name right, but he's a really good sportsman too. He's like got a super good attitude, which is one of my favorite things about him. Like always positive. You know, always positive, always, you know, willing to play, puts on a good show, brings fun builds. Yeah. Good Chiefs loses. Hey, Shock Masane, I got you, man. No problem. So he picks Beastmen. He's coming in with the Beastmen. I actually played against his Beastmen the other day with my Lizardmen. We had a really good... It's up on the channel if you guys want to watch it against El Halcón. It was a really good battle. And he's going to be banning... If I were Beastmen, I'd probably ban Lizardmen, to be honest. Lizardmen or an undead faction. Lizardmen just stomp all over Beastmen now, I think. Yeah, I mean, Wood Elves versus Goblins, that would be an interesting one. I mean, I think Wood Elves would have an advantage because Goblins are basically playing with a limited roster, but it can be won for sure. A couple of units I really like against Wood Elves as the Greenskins is, or Goblins, I should say, or Doomdiver Catapults. They can actually catch people off guard. They can really heat seek those Wild Riders and things like that. And we're going to have Vampire Coast for the Gobbo King. All hail Admiral Gobbo King. This is going to be good. I'm excited for this. I think it's still a matchup. It's a much better matchup for the Beastmen, but Beastmen, remember guys, took huge nerfs in this last patch. So Beastmen used to rely very heavily on Manticore and Cygor summons, both of which have been heavily nerfed. So summons aren't as good, but again, Vampire Coast is a much weaker faction now. I still think Vampire Coast is top tier, but they're much weaker than they were before, simply because they relied very heavily on summons and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, this is going to be good. Two factions that have been changed recently, encouraging new builds. The Mushroom Cave does have some aquatics though, so Gobbo King could be getting the advantage of the aquatics, which could be quite strong. So we'll find out. Gonna go get some more water, guys. Hang tight. All right, I'm back. Hey, Seth, thank you so much for the $2 donation, man. Really appreciate it. You guys are being super generous today, so damn good stuff. Thank you so much, guys. Seth, hopefully you're enjoying the tournament. We are here. How do zombie pirates keep gunpowder dry? Well, I mean, you know, they're not like, I mean, I guess they're damp, but I mean, the same way that, like, you know, human pirates would, perhaps. It's not like they live in the, I mean, just chill in the water. They still are on boats and stuff. So yeah, there's a couple options Vampire Coast has. They can go with gun lines, they can go with crabs. I mean, they have a lot of good options against the Beastmen. They can even go with the big old Promethean and just try and bully them down. Or the Leviathan, excuse me. So it's a really fun matchup. Start when ready, no rush. Yeah, so I'm quite eager to see. Goblin King could come in with like a wild Celestra pick. He can come in with Noctilus. Noctilus is still probably the best, despite the nerfs. I mean, the summons are just so good. Putting him on a big old Colossus can be pretty scary for the Beastman. He can like shoot up the Minotaurs and Centaurs and things like that. There will probably be a stream tomorrow night, Sunday night. During the day, I'm going to be taking care of a lot of business stuff. Lady Turin and I have the final government paperwork to finish up to get her green card. So, but once that's all done, I'll probably do a stream Sunday night. It'll either be a Warcraft 3 or a Total War campaign stream. So it'll be late night, but you know, such is life. All necro effects. So for anyone who isn't aware, in our tournament we use what's called the King's Cup rule. So there's a couple of fine gentlemen in the multiplayer community, folks like Shetland Apache and Pippington and all these guys, and folks over in that Discord, the Great Romulan Dog, all these guys who really work quite hard on the rules, and they limit the amount of single entities you bring. So you can only bring a couple. And there's Shetland Apache appearing right as I give him a compliment. I love it. Hey Shetland, hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. All right. Here we go. So we're going to get rid of that screen blocker. Currently, we're here in game 2 of this best of 5 between Gobbo King and El Halcón. Halcón up 1-0 in a very close, hotly contested first game. And now, guys, we're here. The Gobbo King is going to be playing the Vampire Coast. My favorite one of my favorite factions, actually. Probably my best faction. But he's going to be using a Vampire Fleet Admiral with Lore of Deep. And it looks like he has Tide Call. Tide Call's a bit of it's like Scorch, but it does have a slow as well. And he has the Von Horstmann Speculum, All Hands Ahoy. On top of that, he is going to be rocking, I would imagine, a Vampire Caster, because bringing this many tanky units without Invocation of Nehek would just be foolish. So he has Curse of Years, Invocation of Nehek, and the Drowned Dead. In the back line, this is a unit you almost never see in competitive play, which is going to be the Depth Guard with the Halberds. These guys are, you know, arguably pretty good against the Minotaurs and, you know, stuff like that, but Depth Guard just have such low mass that sometimes if you, or not low mass, but low unit count, that if they get nuked by something, it can really lose you a ton of money. So personally, I'm more of a fan of the melee variant, but we'll see how they do in the Beastman matchup. He's got Rotting Prometheans in the front line, a couple Halberds as well, and the Gallows Giant, the Necrofax Colossus. So a very elite, just kind of grinding build. He's just going to move forward, try and grind over the Beastmen with his Flamethrowers and his Crabs, and use the Tide Call to, you know, roll some of them up. Show me the Ghost Ship. No Ghost Ship today, boys. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the Ghost Ship. It's, hang on, let me see. I'm just making sure that Steam isn't having issues. No, it looks good. Okay. But yeah, we're going to have the Pirate Ship of the Gods. And for the armies of El Halcón, this was a pretty tough matchup pre-patch. I'm not sure how it's going to be with the changes to summons, but he does have Morgr the Shadow Gave on the far side, and he does also have a Brace Shaman, so no summons. He's going to be using the spells. So he does have the Brace Scream, I think, as well as the Vile Tide. Yes, Brace Scream and Vile Tide, so just all DPS abilities against, you know, Vampire Blobs. Ungor Spearman Herds in the front line. Secondary line is going to be Gore Herds. A ton of Raiders, actually, so he does have a couple of Raiders. 4 Raiders. Yeah, that's quite a bit. It's going to be hard to take down those Krabby Patties, though. He does have the Koroks Man-Rippers, whose backs are going to hurt very bad by the end of this game. So I like this quite a bit. And on top of that, he has a couple Centaurs. No great weapons. So my one concern about El Halcón's army is he doesn't have a lot of anti-large or anti-armor, aside from, you know, maybe Morkur's Chaos Spawn doing a little bit of punch, plus the volume of fire from Raiders and the Koroks Man-Rippers. But he's probably going to kill Gobbo Kings like chaff really quick. But killing the big stuff is going to be a problem, I think. So we got a donation coming in hot. Let's see what we got. So Spirit of the Gorg. Love your stream. Much love from Vienna, Austria. Also, have you ever tried kinesio tape with your forearms? I used to do it a lot with CrossFit, MMA, and taping basically cured everything. Really? Spirit of Gorg, did you actually? Yeah, I'll give it a try if you say so. I had friends, because I used to run track and field in college, and a lot of guys on the team use that, but I never used it myself. But I'll look into it, man. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion, and big thanks for the donation. Perhaps I'll go buy some with your very generous donation. All right, and the battle's underway. Oh, I thought it was. I thought I saw the lines disappear. The battle's not underway yet. It will be in a moment. Aquatics could come into play because, again, there is the water, so there's not going to be any penalties for the Vampire Coast if they decide to fight in the water. The Beastmen do have a bit of a surround. There's going to be some sneaky Ungors in the shadows, but there's really no good targets. And I really do like Gobbo King's pick. I mean, it's going to be a thick, meaty army. But you know what would have been super good against this army? Would have been some Minotaurs. But Minotaurs are a risky pick in general against Vampire Coast guns, so I can see why he didn't bring those guys. So the Raiders going to be pouring a couple pebble shots here into the Rotting Prometheans. Not doing a ton of damage, but you got to poke where you can. And the Gallows Giant's probably going to be dropping some bows on these guys in just a second. He does have that Flamethrower with 110 range, so he's almost in range. He's going to be... I wish he could, like use his Flamethrower while he was marching. Gets a little bit of damage there, but it looks like no damage. For some reason, maybe it just missed. I've seen it do really good damage before, the Flamethrower, so that was a little bit strange. Garrett Ratchford, I wouldn't recommend picking Chaos Spawn, like, ever, really. It's just using Morkur to summon them, I think, is a little bit better. Minotaurs are usually a better pick. So, the Ungor Raider is going to be falling back. He's going to be trying to drag Goblin King out of the water, which I don't blame him. Fighting in the water is going to give the aquatics advantage to the deckhand mobs and stuff, so having them pulled into open field here is going to be pretty good. Goblin King might choose to just, like, weather this storm and just kind of sit here. Now, none of these Centaurs have great weapons either, so the crabs are going to be really, really meaty to bring down. I mean, there's Ungor Spears, which could potentially do some work, and look at Goblin King sending these guys forward. And, yeah, these guys are just so tanky. The Gallows Giant's going to be going forward as well. And hopefully getting, for his sake, getting some spit roasting on some of these Ungors here. And we do have Morkur the Shadowgave. He's got his Pimp Claws. I mean, he's one of the few things that might be able to punch these guys down with the help of some Chaos Spawn. Chaos Spawn are not the best unit, but if you're using them, I think Beastmen Chaos Spawn are better than standard ones because they have poison. So it gives you quite a bit of utility. Now, the Raider's forming a bit of a semicircle, going to be shooting in here, getting some decent value here. And it looks like there is going to be some attacks in the back, again, trying to pull the Goblin King apart. He does have a very tightly packed Death Star, so he's really going to be wanting to keep tightly packed. So if the Beastmen can pull him apart, it's going to be quite nice for them. So some of these Ungors are going to be surging forward, trying to get an engagement here. Goblin King actually does pull back and then engages with the Depth Guard with Bull Arms, who are going to make very quick work of these guys. In the back, you can see El Halcon is going to be cycle charging with some of these troops here, and he's getting some good value. El Halcon, really just punching into these deckhand mobs. So just killing everything, basically, and just, trying to make sure that all that's left are the big monsters. And the Raiders are going to be shooting downtown. We got some Spheres engaged with some of the crabs here. We got the Blackhorn Ravagers going to be piling into this particular battle. But Goblin King does a really good job dropping some summons and also taunting these Centaurs, so his halberds can actually keep up and get some decent kills. But El Halcon is being very patient with his army. I like this quite a bit. He's kind of like slowly surging forward, just being very, very methodical with his attacks, not committing to the Death Star. Because if he does commit to the Death Star, Goblin King will 100% win. A big old Tide Call coming down. Good cast by the Goblin King, able to hit some of these Koroks Man-Rippers. It doesn't do a lot against armor, so the Koroks Man-Rippers are able to make pretty quick work. And Vampire Coast, like I said, can't rely as heavily on their summons anymore, so you have to kind of be a little bit more careful with your actual units. So there is a blob fight, which is going to be very good for Goblin King. We got Centaurs, we have the Blackhorn Ravagers in here fighting, and it looks like the Giant Flamethrower Colossus is going to be coming in here. And he's going to be toasting a couple Centaurs as they do come in and attack him, so man, the attack animations on that guy are so cool. El Halcon, though, has kind of pulled them apart a little bit. There is a massive force of the Vampire Coast over here fighting the Blackhorn Ravagers, but there's also some up here on the high ground. Now, they're still doing very good, because like I said, Goblin King doesn't have too many good tools against not Goblin King, El Halcon doesn't have too many good tools against like the big armor and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to see how it goes here. You can see the Chaos Spawn going to be surging in there, so Morkur does drop his first Chaos Spawn summon, and they're going to be attacking. And maybe El Halcon wants to get him on some crabs or something, but it looks like he's just trying to kill all the chaff, which isn't a bad idea. I mean, he has a ton of cheap spears, so maybe just through sheer attrition, he could kind of drag things down. He's also using his Raiders to shoot the Colossus. The Colossus only has 75 armor, so it's not like a super heavily armored unit. And it looks like a Brave Scream is going to be getting dropped right there. It doesn't do a whole lot. I don't think it does much against like crab-type units. But the Bounce Fire is actually a little bit in the favor of El Halcon, but that is always the case when Morkur summons Chaos Spawn. I think the battle's still, pretty close at this point, but I really love the methodical approach. Keeping units in reserve, not mass committing to the Death Star, just sending in 1 or 2 units at a time to force just the attrition onto the Vampire Coast, which is something you wouldn't see terribly often, but it's very, very good play here by both players. So Goblin King's Crab's getting a little bit isolated. The Koroks Man-Rippers are kind of taking those guys apart, and part of his Death Star is trapped down here. Certainly not in the best position, and it seems like El Halcon has just been cycle charging here with the Centaurs, and a very nice invocation of the Heck going down here, but the fact that the Vampire Coast is split up here, I mean, none of these guys are going to get the benefit of that invocation, therefore the Death Star build is going to be a little bit less optimal. So I'm certainly more of a fan of the regular classes here, just kind of shooting Centaurs and playing that like deep kind of ranged game with Vampire Coast, but a build like this could certainly work, and he's getting some good value in. Koroks Man-Ripper's taking some magic damage from Lore of the Deeps, and the Centaurs are going to be charging into the crabs, just trying to get whatever damage they can, but the crabs are just so meaty. They turn around and start clubbing some of the Centaurs. But this Colossus going down is pretty big. It's the Raiders are able to kind of pepper this thing down, and yeah, look at this. I mean, just volume of fire. So one Raider here, it looks like there's one here, and look at this. Some of the Beastmen Raiders even got up and around the back. I'm not sure how they got back there, but he is just methodically picking apart this Vampire Coast army here. You can see the Gallows Giant is just being taken out by Morkur the Shadowgave with his Pimp Claw and all this Raider fire, and it might be going down here in just a moment. So, man, what a game. What a game here. Now, the Vampire Coast still has a lot of crabs, though. They still have this massive Death Star of Rotting Prometheans, which 3 of them are full health. 1 of them is, yeah, they're pretty much all full health. So even though the battle is going very well for El Halcon in some respects, he still has to deal with all these crabs. And if he does run out of ammo, which he is going to be running out of ammo on those guys, all he's going to have left are mostly just chaff units. The Koroks Manrippers, Goblin King has realized that they're the only thing that can really threaten his Krabby Patty, so he's putting debuffs on them, he's attacking with the Vampire Fleet Admiral, he's popping all of his different buffs, and really is going to be focusing down the Koroks Manrippers, which is a really, really good choice. But, I mean, even Goreherds, just through sheer volume, might be able to drag down some of the crabs, but that is going to be a really, really tough proposition. It is going to be a super, super grindy fight. It's going to be a super grindy fight. So some of the Raiders shooting, they did take down the Colossus, which is quite a nice grab. These guys have 6 volleys left, or 5 volleys, and these guys have 16. So pretty decent ammunition on the Raiders. I mean, not the best, but yeah, as long as they all focus fire the same target, methodically work through them. You know, just finishing off the group of 7 right here that's fighting the Koroks Manrippers is going to be quite good. And now you can see that El Halcón is going to be surging forward some of his reserves. So if he fights all at once, his troops are going to get tired. Oh, and another Tide Call coming down. Doing some pretty good damage here in the back, but mostly just against Ungor Spears. But it does also trigger the passive, but I don't know if he has the passive of Lord of the Deeps, the one that does a little bit of damage against everything. He might have it. We'll actually have to go ahead and check, and it looks like he does have the Kiss of the Deep. So every time he casts that, it does a little bit of HP damage to everything on the map. So he's getting small incremental value from that, but it looks like Goblin King's forces are just getting dragged down. I mean, the Beast Herds, even though they're not like good against these particular units, it seems that just a volume of bodies and spears and just... And most of them are active or fresh, and you can see the Vampire Coast is all debilitated and tired because El Halcón just lets his guys rest on the side while he's like fighting his Death Star, which is a very good way to face off against Death Stars. So the Death Star here getting dragged down. You can see that the Goreherds with shields going to be beating down the Prometheans here slowly, I suppose. And the Raiders out of ammunition, but I mean, that is one way Gabo could get back into the game, but Morker is a pretty good duelist against these type of units, especially light armor. So Morker probably is going to be able to kill this Vampire Caster and sustain combat. He does have Ungor Spears here, just all kinds of just chaff everywhere. And the Vampire Coast is enduring. They have 7 Prometheans right here. They have another 8 right here, but they're getting so low. They're crumbling. Their fatigue is becoming a serious issue for these guys. And it seems like the Vampire Coast is getting taken to town right here. But, I mean, very good play by both players. I loved Goblin King's build. I thought it was very, very tough for the Beastmen to beat. But El Halcón was able to kind of grind it out and just eventually get there. It looks like, man, he's just on fire today. So right here you can see that Morker the Shadowgave is going to be fighting against the vampires. Goblin King is going to be going for the Assassinate, which isn't a bad idea. It's pretty much his last opportunity. If he can kill Morker, maybe he can get something going, but he really doesn't have much left. So at this point, it looks like the Beastmen, in what I think is a pretty tough matchup, are able to take this battle here against the Krabby Patties. Yeah. Man, what a battle. What a battle. That was a cockfight, to say the least. So the Vampire Fleet Admiral is going to be going down due to surrounds here. There's a lot of Beastmen axes and hooves just stomping all over these guys. Looks like Goblin King is going to be trying to make a last stand, but his army is going to disintegrate due to army losses. Man, what a battle here. So game 2, El Halcón is able to take that one, so he's up 2-0. If he does win the next game, El Halcón will be taking the series and qualifying for the grand finals. And yeah, just great play. I mean, God, he was so patient. And like, he didn't have like true tools to deal with any of these Prometheans or like any of that stuff, but just through like good tactical play, trickling in troops, he was able to get the victory there, which is quite impressive. So now we're into the last game here. We're going to see if Goblin King can make his miraculous comeback. And remember, guys, in the first ever Chosen Invitational, Goblin King was down 2-0, and he came back to win it 3-0. So he's certainly very apt at making comebacks here. GG. And the next map is going to be... I have it here. One second, guys. Which one was it? We're going to do the... I can't remember the name of that one that I had. We'll do the... we'll just pick one here. Valley of Thieves, I think, is a pretty good one. Could do Troll Country. Valley of Thieves is quite good. Goblin King's going to pick High Elves, and he's going to be banning. This is the grand final, Shetland, yes. I wouldn't say his builds were meme builds, honestly. Maybe the one thing that I think was a little bit memey about Gabba's army was his leadership choice with the Lord of the Deeps caster, like in Tide Call. But aside from that, that army was very viable against Beastmen, for sure. Like, against an average Beastmen player who just piled in, like, that would have been very, very good. The 2 other players, Shetland Apache, I can actually show you. Let's pull up the scoreboard here. So, yes, we're in the grand finals. And the champions of today, we had A-Move Hacker, who was defeated by El Halcón 2-0, and then Lumberjacks and Goblin King had a very good series as well. And last week, as far as the last week's qualifier, we had Zyphos qualify for the grand finals. And yeah, now we're back in action today. Weberus Maximus, thank you so much for the €5 donation. Hail to the mighty Turin. Thanks, man. I don't deserve that, but thank you for the kind words. And Philip coming in with the Zloty. Thank you, man. Late night stream, hoping for some Dawi. Philip, there was a ton of dwarves earlier, man. So if you want to go back and check that out, I don't know if we're going to see them in the finals, but we saw dwarves earlier, and they were very, very, very good. Yeah. Yeah, they were great games earlier. And Lotus, I see you in here. We'll have to get you in one of these next ones the next couple weeks. We have plenty of time, so don't you worry. You did very well last season. Oh. Thank you for the tips, by the way, on the Bretonnia versus Wood Elf matchup. I did see your comment. I'm not very good at Bretonnia, so any tips are always helpful there. So thank you, man. So it's going to be Gobbo Kings High Elves versus Vampire Counts, which I think is a great matchup. I think it's a good one. It's going to be fun. Valley of Thieves is pretty open field, so bolt throwers, things like that are going to be quite good. And yeah, good times for all. Second, guys, just adjusting my microphone here. It's getting a little bit old and decrepit. You know, I started doing YouTube like beginning of 2017, end of 2016. So I can't really remember, actually, to be honest. And my computer is getting a little bit dated too. It's like almost 3 years old now. I'm gonna have to upgrade my equipment soon. Ugh. Maybe I'll try and troll some computer company to sponsor it. That'd be pretty cool. We have seen Skaven today. Skaven were played earlier in the tournament. They did pretty well for themselves, I think. Yeah, Gobbo King had a really good Skaven game against Lumberjacks. It was a close game. He brought a pretty cool build with like rattling guns and furnaces and things like that, and it was solid. He was able to take out a very good greenskin army. So yes, we did. And the Mr. Redalek, he says, greetings from Poland. Thank you for the 15 zlotys. Appreciate it, man. Yakshay Mash, my friend. I hope you're doing Dobja over there, because I'm quite Dobja as well. And things are good. I'm going to be in Poland this summer, actually, in July. I'll be going out there for about 4 or 5 days to visit my lovely wife's family. My awesome, badass father-in-law, Merrick. Snyder, you just got to shoot me a message in Discord, really, and just be like, hey, I want to play. And I'll be like, okay. And then you'll get to play. But of course, I'm not like, I do want this to be a competitive tournament, so I'm looking for individuals who do have some tournament experience. So if you have no experience in tournaments at all, I would probably recommend getting some in community tournaments and stuff. Yeah. Jenkuya. I'll be in Warsaw, and then we'll be going to, because she doesn't, her family like lives northeast of Warsaw, I think. So it's like it's like pretty close to like Radzymin and Legionova. So it's like out in that neck of the woods, like out in the woods. I will buy my mom some flowers for Mother's Day. I'm actually making her breakfast tomorrow. England is your city? Didn't you say you were from the Philippines earlier? All right, guys, here we go. Valley of Thieves, one of my favorite Tomb Kings maps, if memory serves, has some pretty cool design there. Swing by Czech for a visit, and you know, Anna actually. Oh, this is actually not the one I was thinking of, but it's going to be okay. Anna actually loves the Czech Republic. It's one of her favorite countries. She's been there a couple times. All right, battle is underway. Mortal Wombat. Honestly, like just like playing a lot of quick battles, and then like when you really like lose bad in quick battles, just watching the replays back, seeing what your opponents do. Just getting the experience of microing units. But again, there's a lot of like technical things about the game. I mean, obviously watching replays on my channel is helpful, but there's other channels that do more tutorial focused stuff that are quite good. I know Party Elites had a few of those. Gentlemen like Zerkovic do that. So they're better for like tutorials and like learning the basics. But if you want to like watch competitive play, I mean, there's all kinds of folks you can watch. There's so many different people. I mean, yeah, like everyone on my suggested channels, there's tons of guys on Twitch who do really, really good stuff. Shetland Apache can give you a lot of good names as well. All right, guys, and back to the game. So for the Gobbo King, he's going to be rocking Teclis. Teclis, a very good choice against Vampire Counts. He's got Nets, he's got Regrowth. Nets, very good against the big monsters. Regrowth is always very solid when you're using Dragon Princes and Elite Troops and things like that. So that is quite solid. He's got the Fireborn here in the back, as well as another group of Dragon Princes, so going to be a very Prince-heavy build. 2 groups of the Swordmasters of Hoeth. So if the Vampire Counts don't have, Fate of Buna, Spirit Leech type effects, those guys are going to be going to Pound Town in the front. 3 groups of the Swordmasters of Hoth who are going to be backed up by 2 White Lions, Spearmen on the flanks, and that is pretty much it. So a very tight, good, solid High Elf army here for the Gobble King. I like it quite a bit. And for the forces of the Vampire Count and El Halcón, is he going to continue his streak today of just going wild? I mean, undefeated so far in today's tournament. He hasn't dropped a single game. So he does have the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, who's going to be very good at hunting Teclis. A ton of Blood Knights, so going thematic but also competitive. Blood Knights are going to be able to put up a great fight against Dragon Princes, especially with the support of the Vampire Lord. Front line's going to be Chaffee, Graveguard, Skeleton Warriors, and a Black Coach to work on the elite troops. So it's going to be really a cav fight. I mean, if the cav forces of El Halcón can overwhelm the Dragon Princes, he's going to be in great shape because Gobbo King is going to win that front line, most likely. Swordmasters plus White Lions are just going to pound town Graveguard and Zombies like all day. So yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to get pretty wild here. So Gobbo King is down 2-0 right now. El Halcón is playing very, very well today. Gobbo King, if he does come back, though, he's going to have to win all 3 of the next games. But he's done it before. The first ever chosen invitational, the Gobbo King did drop 2-0, and he's able to come back and win the next 3 games. So he's certainly very capable of such feats. We're going to see what happens here. So Gobbo King is going to be squaring up. He does have the missile advantage with the Lothran Sea Guard. Probably going to be shooting the Black Coach, I would imagine. That's going to be a decent target for him. I mean, Lothran Sea Guard are pretty good here also against Blood Knights. I mean, they have anti-large. They don't have armor piercing, but they have charged defense. So they're going to be somewhat durable in that situation. But I think El Halcón is really going to need to pound out the Swordmasters. If he could kill the Swordmasters, I think the rest of the battle is going to be a little bit kind of or not a little bit, but going to be quite fluid for him. I'm not sure, Shetland. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen such a thing. I've looked, and I didn't think there was a limitation on Blood Knights. I don't see why there would be. If people can bring like 3 or 4 Dragon Princes, like why can't they bring Blood Knights as well? So the frontline fighting is going to be underway. So the Swordmasters of Hoth going to be grinding into these Zombos. The archers of the Gobbo King are going to be shooting downtown into the zombies. And let's see here. And archers going in. Going to be targeting the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord a little bit. Gobbo King Swordmasters are going to be engaging on pretty good targets. El Halcón going to be doing a charge in the front line against Swordmasters, which is very good. You need to wear down these infantry because Graveguard have a really bad matchup here. So beautiful frontal charge coming in from the Knights of Red Keep. Very, very good stuff right there. And from there, they're going to be pulling back, getting a little bit of shock damage on them. Gobbo King does countercharge with the Fireborn and gets a really beautiful net. So great play by the Gobbo King right there. That was solid. His flanks are very well protected, and now he's getting a ton of melting damage here on the Blood Knights with his archers. And the Fireborn are also in there. The Graveguard are getting melted. This is a really, really good fight. And also, he's going to be getting a regrowth, most likely, on top of the Swordmasters of Hoth. So going to be dropping some dank heals. Helm of Discord does go down from the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, but Gobbo King simply pulls back, leaves his elite troops right there, and yeah, wild stuff here. So the Blood Knight's going to be pulling back right here. Looks like a fat Invocation of Nehek is going to be going down, healing up all of those guys, but it seems like Gobbo's in pretty good shape right now. I think he's in a commanding position. His front line is winning the fight. He's using the Dragon Princes very efficiently to kind of hold things down, but it looks like some of the tithe is going to be trying to work through. The zombies are at the gates, and White Lines are also quite good against cap units and things like that. So yeah, we're going to see how that goes. In the back, you can see the Fireborn going to be pulling back and forth, just looking for those juicy targets, looking to get onto the Blood Knights. The Black Coach is causing some problems for sure, and he's coming in there. Here come the Blood Knights. Enfeebling Foe has also been popped on those guys to make them a little bit buttery. Honestly, the Lothran Sea Guard probably should just fight that. They have the help of Dragon Princes and Spearmen, so they're going to be getting some really, really good value right here. In the meantime, the Fireborn are going to be pulling back. The High Elf front line actually crumbling down. So Swordmasters of Hoth and the White Lions and company are getting a little bit beat up. Teclis is going to be dropping some dank nets right there. The net's going to be very solid for keeping those Blood Knights in check. And the Dragon Princes should be able to kind of catch those guys. Now, these Blood Knights are going to be coming in here, piling in. Fireborn should countercharge them, for sure. It's going to be a good opportunity. Maybe even pull in some Lothran Sea Guard to kind of help out a little bit. But that charge does some decent damage against them. You can see these Blood Knights are starting to get worn down. The front line, like I said, though, for the High Elves, even though I thought they would win it pretty decisively, that was taken into account that the Blood Knights wouldn't be fighting in the front line. So here with the Blood Knights fighting in the front, yeah, Gobbo King might be able to stabilize this back line situation. He still has a lot of spears. He still has Swordmasters fighting up to 90 kills here. Has a couple White Lines. So one group of Blood Knights is fully dead. And now we have 2 left who are pretty beat up. Gobbo King's Dragon Princes are in really good shape. And I mean, if the Dragon Princes can kind of continue on in this game and stay healthy, it's going to be pretty disastrous for the Vampire Counts. Like their stuff will just get cycle charged into oblivion. The Fireborn are a little bit damaged up. They have 27 of their 45 models. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is going to be piling in to fight those guys. And it looks like the Lothran Sea Guard just going to be shooting into the Blood Knights. Just doing a great job. Just getting some really, really good work in there. So Lothran Sea Guard shooting in, working down the Blood Knights. They have that anti-large as well. There's still a ton of Spearmen left. The Black Coach is still in good shape, but there are some High Elf troops coming back, some White Lines and Swordmasters in the distance here. And the bounce power, surprisingly, is yeah, pretty even, but it looks like it's a little bit in the favor of the Vampire Counts. I'm not sure why, because I feel like it's a very, very even battle at this point. But anyways, we do have a pit fight here. We have the Dragon Princes and company who are going to be fighting against the Blood Knights. Blood Knights are getting melted down. 32 models right here. These ones are very, very beat up. The dreaded Black Coach, maybe getting Techless to attack the Black Coach could be quite useful right now. And it looks like these Fireborn might be taking a Blood Knight fight up here on the hill. Invocation of Heck has been popped. Gobble King, if he misses his charge, that could actually be pretty disastrous for sure. So charge coming in here. Fireborn getting a good old charge here onto the Blood Knights. But it looks like Blood Knights might be able to wear them down just through sheer numbers. Here in this main fight, we do have the 34 Dragon Princes still fighting. And Techless here is going to be going. Is he going to go after the Black Coach here? There's a little bit of chat going here. What did he say? You won. I picked a bad army. You're ready when you are. So anyways, the Dragon Princes here do get chased off by the Blood Knights. Swordmasters of Oath are going to be coming back in. Gobble King does have a nasty little pocket of troops right here. Zombie summons, of course, disappear much faster now. But it's really going to be a pretty heavy load onto the backs of those that one group of remaining Dragon Princes. Yeah, the Fireborn have taken a beating for sure. I mean, they fought a 2v1 battle versus 2 Blood Knights plus a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord up there. So, I mean, there's still a lot of Lothran Seaguard. Excuse me, I just like whacked my microphone right there. So there's a chance those guys could make a bit of a last stand here, but yeah, he's not going to want to take this fight. He needs to get some, like, yeah, up on the high ground though. Look at this. Spearman actually won that fight. The Bounce Power is pulling in the favor of the Blood Knights, or of the Vampire Counts here as they do charge downhill. Dragon Princes do kind of evade that charge and force the Blood Knights to fight into the Lothran Seaguard, and there's going to be a net. So now at this point, Gobble King can countercharge him and probably get some decent value. So he's going to be charging in with the help of some Spearmen and some Infantry, and yeah, it's a nice little net right there, netting them amongst a bunch of spears. They're almost at their healing cap, and it looks like some of the White Lines are going to be doing a downhill charge on those Blood Knights. Now the Black Coach is going to be a huge issue. The Black Coach is relatively healthy at about half health here. And I don't know if Gobble King is going to be able to take this. I think it's going to be going to the Vampire Counts. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Looks like Techless is going to be falling back. The Dragon Princes up here do finish off these Blood Knights just about. They're pretty low, and the White Lines are able to help out quite a bit, but I just don't think he has enough infantry left. The frontal charging of the Blood Knights was really, really masterful play. Really, really masterful play. Techless gets caught with the Helm of Discord right there, and that's going to be probably all she wrote. So, yeah, well played there, guys. That was a lot of micro by both players, but El Halcon was really, really on point today. He just played super well. So let's check it out here. We do have yeah, I really thought the Swordmasters would do better, but the frontal charging plus the Black Coach play was really good. Helm of Discord on the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord was incredibly powerful. And GG, I mean, triple Blood Knights, 63, 89, 32. Dragon Princes and the Fireborn, you know, Gobble King did a really good job defending in the beginning, but just that attrition, I mean, in the Black Coach, it seemed like the Blood Knights and the Coach did a really good job just kind of hammering out the front line. So, El Halcon coming in hot, winning that 3-0 there. Well played to both players, I have to say. Hey, El Halcon, congratulations to him. He's going to be qualifying for the Grand Finals here. Man, I have to say, he was playing just hot as fire today. Like, did not drop a single game. He played against some very nasty builds with the against A-Move Hacker in the beginning, and he was able to just claw his way through those games. Just let's hear a big round of applause for him. An up-and-coming star in the community. A new challenger appears. He certainly earned that victory. So big congratulations to him. And you know what? While we're all here together, let's go ahead and add him to the tablet. And again, very well played to Gobble King. It was a fiercely contested battle. So I want to get his name right. So let me see if I can copy and paste it from the Discord. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. All right. 1 second. I'm going to get his name proper because I want to have the actual. Here we go. We're getting him in. We're adding him to the tablet together. And he's going to be claiming the second spot here today. So he is qualified for the Eternal Challenger League Season 2 Finals, which are going to be in 7 or 8 weeks. Yeah, both of them played super well, for sure. And that's going to be our 2 qualifying players so far. There's going to be 6 more people who could potentially qualify. Yeah, I'm going to talk to them about, well, because apparently I'm going to talk to Gabo and El Halcon and see if they want to, if Gabo wants to get a rematch for that last game, he's more than welcome to, and I would just play that on the channel, and they can finish out the rest of the series that way. For some reason, there's some sort of a rule against triple Blood Knights, which I'm not sure why. because you can bring 3 Dragon Princes. Apparently it has something to do with spending. So yeah, I'll check into it. But for now, that's going to be it, because it looks like Goblin King left before I got to talk to him. Hey, man. Sure. You guys want to see... No, I'll talk to Goblin King and El Halcon and see if they want to replay that one, because technically it was a King's Cup rule break, is what I just saw. I wasn't sure. But for some reason, they you can only spend a certain amount on Blood Knights. Yeah, it's kind of a weird rule. I'll play versus El Halcon. Yeah, I'll play one game for you guys. Stay here. All right, and we're gonna do that. So I'll talk to him, and if Goblin King wants to replay those games, I'll replay them and just do them as a video on my channel, just playing the remnants of the games. But if he doesn't want to, then it's fine. We can just call it there. It's up to him. Because honestly, I don't think it's a big. It's a max of 4,600. So yeah, so 3 Dragon Princes you could bring because they cost 4,500, but 4 Blood Knights you couldn't because they cost over that or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. So. All right, here. All right, so you guys wanted a little bit of action here, so. Hey, so who should I play? Let's play the. I could play Vampire Coast. I could play Lizardmen. Not sure who we're gonna play here. I'm only gonna do like 1 or 2 games, so. Yeah, we'll go Vampire Coast. Coast for me. Yeah, let me check. I'll check with Gabo right now, actually. I'm just waiting for Gabo to he's gonna play. So he's gonna play Bretonnia, I think. Rune Lord versus Rune Lord. So RORs don't count towards that. Interesting. All hail the mighty. So yeah, I shot Goblin King a message. We can replay it now or replay it later if he wants, if he has to go do something else. But for now, we're just gonna kind of play this. But yeah, I mean, El Halcon definitely playing a very, very tight game today. So he's gonna go Bretonnia, it looks like. I'm just gonna play one game to close out the stream for you guys. What build do I want to go with? Oh, are we still on the screen here? Oh. Goodness. Well, I don't think he's going to screen sight me, so, and if he does, I don't really mind. All right. So we're going with the Coast. Now, Coast has been, hit a little bit. You can go, Aranessa isn't actually a bad pick here. Also, she can get some work done. You just want the rematch for entertainment reasons. Don't worry, guys. I got you covered. So he's going Bretonnia. Okay. So I think we're going to get Noctilus on the Colossus because it's just so much fun. It's pretty good against Bretonnian Cav too. And on top of that, we're going to get a Morgul Haunter, who's really good for slowing down the Cav. For the front line, it's mostly just going to be deckhand mobs, just like Chaff. I mean, I have a couple pretty decent builds against Bretonnia, so... let's see. We can get cannons. I mean, there's so many different ways to play this. But I think we're going to go with the a couple guns here. The guns are going to be a little bit like deep and set back. Get a couple mortars to shoot peasants. And then we need some dogs to like just harass heavily. It's like super important that we get the doggos in there doing some work. Get one of you guys just to kind of pressure a little bit. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. Triple Colossus against someone like this, he's going to be expecting it. Yeah. I could go with Queen Bessie, but Bessie is she's a finicky lass. All right, so man, it's so Noctilus is just so expensive. He's so pricey. don't know if we need mortars, actually. I don't think we do. Okay. So the Hard Knock Life is going to be coming in there. We have the Haunter. I would like some of you guys as well. Probably drop 2 of them. So the army's coming together. We have some range tools. We have some backline harass. We'll get some Fellbats as well. And then we'll get you. And yeah, the Halberds are just always so good against Bretonnia. Army's looking okay. We got some guns. I don't need a screen block. I trust this guy. He's not gonna screen snipe my build. If he does, then so be it. All right. I'm trying to think what we might be missing here. I mean, we don't have the best anti-large tools, but we just have like tar-pitting zombies. He's gonna spam like a horde of archers and just go crunk with those guys. That's like typically what Bretonnians do. The double Colossus can be somewhat efficient. I really do like a Morngul Haunter though. It's pretty useful in the infantry fight. The one thing I'm a little bit kind of on the fence about is going with the double depth guard. I feel like the double depth guard might be a little bit excessive here. Mornguls have decent mass and can stop like cav units, so I think we're going to mix in a Morngul. And let's get you, and from here we can mix in Tide of Skuld in the front. Ready. Here we go. Showtime. Showtime. I think one depth guard is good. They're really good at grinding down hordes of chaff. The Morngul Terror is pretty useful as well. Plus it gives me something to stop Knights Errant charges. The Colossus, at the very least, is going to force my opponent in. Honey badger of YouTubers. Alright guys, here we go. And here we go, and here we go. We're going to be on the same map as before. Hopefully you guys don't mind this. I'm just going to do one game because my hands are a little bit sore after all that. Guns are going to be a little bit offset here. Going to hide Big Buddy back here. Air Yeezy, 1995. Thank you, man. So, El Halcon won 3-0. There was a minor rules infraction at the end, and we offered... I just sent Gabo a bunch of messages seeing if he wants to replay it, but he hasn't responded, so... yeah, so I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to, who knows. All right, so that's going to be the main force here, and now I'm just playing a fun game against El Halcon to like wrap up the stream. I feel like that's a fun way to do it. We'll get some bats here, and we can get you guys actually. Get you guys, and you get you doggies over here. Get you doggies over here. It's going to be good. And yeah, we're good to go. Alcone? Yeah, Alcone played so good today. He played so good. It was pretty nuts. All right, so he's got a huge Bretonnian army, of course. It's like you have to go like that against these guys. Noctilus is going to be a little bit further up. I mean, it's just going to be peasant archers threatening him, so that's why like my Hound micro is going to be super essential. All right, I think it's showtime. Let's get this show on the road, and good luck, good luck. In Falcon, we have to get you in one of these next few weeks. I'll do something never seen before. Okay, well, I'm a little bit nervous about this now. Let's see what he's got. All right. I put the pressure on him. I put the pressure. No, this isn't Gabo King playing. I probably should have taken the scoreboard down. I played Alicone a couple times last week, so I kind of have a gist of his playstyle. It's going to be a bunch of peasant archers for sure. It always is, but that's why I have the dogs. Alright, so let's go ahead and scoot up here a little bit, like this. Let's get Big Papa Knock just coming in here, the Hard Knock Life. Dogs. Dogs. Fellbats. Dogs. He's got a pretty nice little like edge of the map here type situation, so... the Hard Knock Knife needs to start shooting some of these Knights Errant, so we're going to put him in group 6. And doggies can just kind of Tokyo drift around the back here. Fellbats need to go. It's really going to come down to like, can I pressure his yeah, I'll shoot the Knights of the Realm as well. Yeah, some good little poke and damage coming in there. Can't complain about that. Get you guys going here. Get you guys going here as well. And the Fellbats are coming. Dogs are over here, but he's obviously going to react to that, so we need to just pull that back. Just try and get as much value as we can against the Knights of the Realm, really. So now we can shoot into the Peasant Archers. Let's go ahead and drop a Race Storm on these guys. Let's get you guys coming in here. The Fellbats can go ahead and attack this group right here. And these guys can kind of just circle in there. Good. Good, Anakin, good. And yeah, we're just shooting into the goodies here. Felbat's coming in. These guys are, about to get headed off there. He almost got me with my pants down, I'm not going to lie. So now we need to engage the front line here, see if we can kind of weave through a little bit. Get you guys all going. Get the depth guard kind of grinding up the middle, which I'm quite okay with. And the guns, we can have you guys shoot at Alberic, which will be fun. Great. So the dogs need to come up and over the top here if we can. These dogs can just kind of slip through here, which hopefully it'll work out. And let's move you guys up here and get you going right here. Have you guys start shooting at the Knights of the Realm. Great, so Depth Guard should be able to kind of mulch this front line situation. Alberic is going to be charging in like a hero of his people, but I don't know how well that's going to go for him. So the Ross Mundo we can also drop right here and get these dogs kind of pressuring and these dogs pressuring as well. So yeah, we'll start feasting on Alberic's soul. So we're going to go after the Knights of the Realm here with these troops. Let's go ahead and turn about face here. Alberic is actually breaking already, which is really, really good for us. We're going to drop an invocation in the front. The dogs were just kind of getting around the back, just doing our thing. All right, so let's see if we can kind of slip you through here. And why do you guys stop? Come on now. Come on now. Depth Guard are going. My opponent's putting most of his focus fire into those guys, but we did get some really, really good pressure here against the Knights on the side, so hopefully we can break those guys. And Alberic's also dead, so that's quite good. So the dogs are going to get into the back line. We got two really, really good charges. Killing the peasant archers is like priority number one. So Noctilus, we can just start shooting at these Knights here. Let's get these Zombos engaging them. Pull you guys back here and you guys back here. Just keep getting those guys over there. I really do want to keep those Morngulls alive though, but I don't have any healing at the moment. So let's actually go over here and see if we can help out a little bit. Great, so we got a bunch of dogs feasting in the back line, which is good. So now we're going to kind of hopefully jump over here and get some value. Pull these dogs back and through. We'll just kind of keep going after Alberic here, and you guys can shoot right here. And what are these, Knights of the Realm? Oh, these are Knights Errant, okay. And those are the Knights of the Lionhearted right there. So he does kill our Depth Guard, which is a little bit unfortunate. Not really worth it using the... So we'll drop some summons right here. And yeah, we're getting all over his Peasant Archers, which is great. So we're going to kind of keep surging back there. Hopefully the hunger will keep us going. We'll keep going on Alberic if we can. And can we shoot the Knights here? I mean, we're trying to grind him down a little bit. We have these zombies here that can potentially do some work. It's a close battle for sure. The fact that we've done so much damage against his Peasant Archers is really nice, but now he's simply just going to go after us with a lot of his cav units here. We need to kill Alberic. That needs to happen. We do have a Race Storm coming up, so let's go ahead and drop that on the defenders of Flare de Lis. And these are the Black Spot. So actually I'm going to try and keep these guys alive. Black Spot do have anti-large and AP, so that's really good. So we're going to pull these dogs back and just kind of chase those guys off. And Alberic needs to get chased off the battlefield if we can. Let's get the Hard Knock Life in here to help out. And these guns are back online, so we're going to take some blows right here. So he's trying to chase us with some of those guys. Our Depth Guard unfortunately have fallen as well. Alberic, once we get Alberic off, that's going to be quite nice. I'm going to save my summons for the late game. Actually, you do have a really nice one right here. So let's go ahead and drop some zombies back there if we can. We're just going to be chasing off all these archers to the best of our abilities, because archers are breadwinners for sure. Great. So these guys need to go back, so we're going to get the Ross Moondile over there. And then we can drop this right here, the Drowned Dead. And great. So now we have this big angry beast back who can cause some serious problems. And we're going to go get his life caster. Yeah, it's going to be really good. All right, great. So we're in good shape here. We've taken some casualties for sure, but we need to get rid of these battle pilgrims and secure like a new secondary battle line right here. And let's get that life caster if we can. We have some zombies here that can chase these peasants. Zombie. Let's shoot the defenders of Flare de Lis. And we'll get a nice little invocation trying to keep the Black Spot alive. It's going to be really important we do that. What's in your hair? Come on, waver and break. Waver and break. Shake and break, baby. All right, so it's a close fight. He's leaderless, though, which is always really good. We'll pull these guys back if we can. We do get into that sweet, sweet damsel right there, but she's able to get away. So let's actually get these summon zombies. We really need these dogs to stay alive, because that's like one of our only assets to really pressure the open field here. So the Black Spot's going to keep pulling back. Hopefully our dude right here can do the trick. So let's actually pull back here and help out if we can. We'll drop a Wraith Storm on these guys. Alright, great. So the dogs are going to probably go quietly into the night. That's unfortunate. Alright, so let's go here. We get some really good bombardments, actually. So these guys can go here. They can halt. And put them in guard mode as well. If we can secure this back line, I don't know if he's going to be able to kill Noctilus. I mean, he has some Peasant Archers left, but unfortunately the dogs have met their end, but I think they've certainly paid their dues. I think he got his life caster back, too. So let's shoot these guys if we can. Shoot with Noctilus. extra powder would have been really good too. And down you go, Sweet Prince. Those guys are dealt with. I mean, Noctilus is really healthy. And you guys probably noticed the way I play with him is I'm very, very conservative with my Winds of Magic. It's like, I think that's like crucial. So at this point, we just kind of like, Gorilla Stomp around. Knights of the Lionhearted need to pay the price though, for sure. So we're going to pull back a little bit. No, actually we can just kind of stay here. We can summon some zombies here. And we're going to summon some zombos right there. And we're going to drop an invocation on the black spot. So we got some summons here. And we're getting some good damage. So let's actually put these guys in group 2. Yes, come on. We need to grind out the knights. That's really, really going to be important here. Black spot does have anti-large and AP, so they're going to be pretty good against such units. And we have this guy helping. These guys can go ahead and fight in melee. Let's pull over the hard knock life. Our zombie summons here are going to keep going. We do have some in the back as well. It's a really close battle, actually. I mean, pre-nerf Vampire Coast, definitely the summons would have been lasting quite a bit longer here. But now we need to get like a terror out here onto these Knights of the Lionhearted, these like troops. Unfortunately, no invocations from the Heck, but we still have a lot of summons. Man, a really big invocation from the Heck right here would be super nice. So he's pulling back. He has a lot of troops left here. If he does get a little bit too close with his caster, but the slow from the... okay, great. So we broke the defenders, which is really, really good. And now we can get a fat invo right here, which is going to heal like all our stuff. These guys can pop back. And we're going to use an Arcane Conduit. The Morngul Haunters are just so beefy. Those things are just like nasty as hell. So where are the, not the defenders, the Knights of the Lionhearted are the ones we need to really focus on. Our zombies are so scattered everywhere. Alright, let's do this. And as these guys do charge in, we need to get a fat summon on them. Great. So I just waited for him to get in the proper position there. And we get a summon right on top of them, which is going to be pretty good. It's going to give us some troops to fight against these spears with, too. We should be able to terror out most of the Bretonnians here, I think. The bounce power is still in our favor, but like a lot of his units are quite good against mine. So let's get you guys kind of going in there to fight them. And I don't mind actually taking like an open field fight against these guys. We'll get some of the zombies kind of shifting there. Unfortunately, the black spot is going to be meeting the price. So the Morngul Haunter actually does have a slowing ability. Ooh, they're just lined up really good right now, so we could actually just probably take some pot shots at them. Yeah, we're getting in there. Ooh, yeah, that was really good. So we'll probably have enough, maybe, with one more of our Arcane Conduit to... those Knights of the Lionhearted need to go down, though. Yeah, let's just shoot him a little bit more, see if we can get one more shot. The Haunter might go down. It's hard to say. Alright, so we're going in here. Come on, Haunter! So the Haunter, we're going to pull back a little bit now, see if we can get him away, let some of the zombies drag these guys down. You guys can just attack the defenders. Oh no, peasant archers! Oh no, they're coming! I don't know if we're going to have enough stopping power here, guys. It's a close battle for sure. It's a shame we didn't get that damsel either. If we had maybe killed the damsel. See, our summons are going to be disappearing here in like just a second, so now we're out of summons. So that's like a big, you know, aspect of the change, right? Oh no, Haunter, don't go that way. Okay, Nock, you need to get in there. Oh no, the Haunter is fallen. Noctilus battles are always pretty grindy. You're very, very correct. Maybe going with Aranessa would have been good, but I don't know. I don't feel like it. GG. Foot Barrack. Alberic got dumpstered in the beginning. That's game. So GG. So yeah, concede defeat there. So that's a great game to actually cast separately. So Brett's. That was really good. It is the Eternal Challenger League, but we finished. Well, you cannot nerf the devotion to the lady. It was a really well played game. He played great. He did lose his Lord very quick, which you know. Yeah, so I just spoke to Gobbo King. He said he's fine. Like we're just gonna yeah, like he did the game. We'll just go to him there. So that was a really good. I was like, you know, pre-nerf, I think Vampire Coast might have been able to win that, but after that, I don't think so. So one more if you want. I'll do one more for you guys. Why not? We got a crowd. So El Halcon is indeed going to be qualifying. So I'll go. Who would you guys like to see? You want to see OP Skaven? Change map. Yeah, I'm excited for the new Death Guard models. That was a really good battle. It was close. Well played. Yeah, this one was good. No, I think the nerf to summons was good. Like, I felt like he did pretty well there. I mean, letting my Morngulls die in the flank was really bad. I needed those guys. But they did well. They chased off like 2 knights. Yeah. Who do we want to play here? I could play Tomb Kings. The TKs. Let's play Lizardmen. Yes. Versus Empire. Oh, this is a matchup like I haven't been looking forward to, actually. All right, so how do we play this? I have no idea. I don't really play these guys. Sure. So we have a couple options for Lord picks. Lizard Moses and Madscore summons are always pretty good here. So obviously against Empire, you're going to want to go super wide with shields. It's usually pretty efficient. I don't think we need... Could mix in a couple red crusted skinks, just in case he has great swords. Getting the extra AP is going to be useful. Yeah, I think a front line like that is pretty good. We'll get a Salamander. We'll get an Ancient Sally, I think is going to be good. This is a matchup I'm not very good at, so he's probably going to win this, but we're gonna go hard in the paint and see if we can get some goodies going. I don't think Croak is going to be super good. We do have an Ancient Sally. I could go with the double Skink Chief and just be annoying, but I don't know if that's if it's that good. Manticore Summon plus the Curse. I think Curse will be pretty good for some of the big monster fights we're inevitably going to have. There are places to kind of hide here. I think we need a couple Skink cohorts just to give us some Javelin Fire and just poke and be obnoxious. I could go with like a Salamander build in general. It's just more like Empire cannons and things like that that could potentially be an issue. Do I want to go with Manscore Summon? I feel like going actually with Light Salon might be better. Just getting like the nets against Cav plus Time Warp is so good. So we're going to go that route. We don't need Exorcism, obviously, because we're playing these guys. So we're going to go with some Cold One Spear Riders in the back just to try and fend off the Empire Heavy Cav. 2 of these guys. Cincinnati of VA, thank you. I don't care what Sparty or anyone else says. I like your hair. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wish you could like the video again for extra games at the end. He is, hey man, everyone has their day, and today El Halcon came in hard and is just going nuts. So okay, so the infantry is pretty wide. I think we have some good options against large targets. So what we have to respect is the fact that Karl Franz might come in and try and goon us. So I think bringing the Legion of Chakawa is going to be good. The Ancient Sally, I almost want to get a second one. Oh, we can get some Pterodon Riders just to be annoying. Star Chamber Guardians, I mean, are okay, but Empire's pretty good at isolating those type of things. Yeah, I think this build is in the right direction. He's such a good guy, too. Like, such a good sportsman. That's one of my favorite things. Like, when people are in my tournaments and they have good attitudes and they're, like, good sports, that's, like, they'll always be welcome back. Like, it's just such a good guy. Okay, so we got some Javelins. We have the Ancient Salamander. A Hunting Pack could be good against Empire Heavy Cav, but that's a lot to protect is the only thing, and I'd have to cut a bit out of my army. I mean, I could cut the Legion, but then the Toad is going to be a little bit... Empire missiles, cannons, things like that. Having the Legion is going to be useful, I think. And also for like backline, just in case my Cold One Spear Riders lose it. I think this build's okay. Get some chevrons in there. Oh, no. Forget it's not quick battle where you can't just like lazily just apply chevrons. Yeah, should be fine. All right, good luck to my opponent. The mullet takes too long to get. This party is jealous because he's bald. So yeah, guys, El Halcon has qualified. I spoke to Gabo. I mean, it's a super minor rules break. It's really kind of like, it's insignificant, to be honest. because Blood Knights cost, what, 1,600? So you could bring 3 Dragon Princes for the cost of 4,500 gold. And 3 Blood Knights is going to be just over that. It's really insignificant. So anyways, Gobbo King said that like he's good. Like El Halcon's going to be qualifying, so it's up to them, you know, and that's that. It was a great game. I mean, El Halcon is playing so good today. All right, so let's get you going. Let's get the Legion back here. The Legion of the Damned. We'll get the Spear Riders in a very defensive formation. We'll get the Salamander hiding in the trees, cackling. Pterodon Riders can be in the corner, just doing their thing. Actually, let's get these little javelins in a little bit. I think keeping them in is going to be better here for now. He's got a big army, actually. Yeah, it's going to be good. No, I decided to go with the Light Salon. I feel like Nets is really good against Empire. Yeah, I can take the tournament names off the screen. That's fine. Hold on. There you go. Hopefully that helps. The after party. All right, we're good. Let's do it to it. El Halcon and I are just playing some games for fun right now because I did have a bit of an itch, and this is great too because I now have some good replays I can cast as well. All right, it's showtime. Whenever he's ready, I'll let him know. Ancient Salamander cackles in the trees. I'm out. Him and I played 4 games the other day, and we both won 2. I won 2, he won 2. So far he just beat my Vampire Coast. So he's technically up a game here in this series. But I mean, yeah, if it were a tournament, I probably wouldn't play Lizardmen. I'm not very good at them, to be honest. See, he's obviously has some dank deployment tactics going on here. So he could have a bunch of like Outriders and stuff. That would actually be kind of annoying. But my Saurus front line is going to be pretty strong, especially with Bronus Time Warp and the Aura Pretzel and stuff. He should be pretty good. So let's move you guys up a little bit. All right, guys, here we go. Showtime. Let's see what happens. The Empire army awaits us. Ancient Salamander is going to be dropping some. And let's get these guys around the back. See what's going on. So he's got a lot of Flagellants actually. I could like drop some nets here. I don't think it's worth it. He does have some Sons of Sigmar and some other troops here. I mean, he could shoot the Salamander, so we're going to kind of hide in the trees a little bit. I mean, these are all Pistoliers, so their AP values are pretty poor. And what does he have in the back that's like... It's mostly just infantry, actually. There's not much like that's worth dealing with. We could drop a little bit on Gelt. What does Gelt Daddy have? So I could net them down, but I mean, the Pistoliers are getting like almost no damage shooting into the forest there. All right, so let's get the Salamander. We're going to kind of position him out in the flank, just keep the main army moving forward here. I don't think it's really worth dropping nets. So let's go ahead and get you guys kind of scooting up to throw some javelins here. Pterodon Riders can actually just go attack Balthazar Gelt because he doesn't have too much help really. I could drop some nets, but I think we're just going to kind of take this fighting here in the front. Actually, let's wait for the Saurus to get in position. So we're going to put those guys in group 4 for now. And let's get you guys going here. You guys can throw some javelins. Salamander can start pounding into Sigmar Sons. And the Slan. Yeah, oh, that was some really, really good javelin damage. Okay, great. So you guys can go here, and let's get you guys kind of throwing into them. Saurus can go fight in the front. We'll get you guys kind of squeaking through as well. And the Salamander is going to just start going after infantry, which is going to be pretty cost effective. So great. So the Banana Slan, I mean, we could bum rush in with our cav, but it's not like too much of an issue. Let's get you guys going right here, just going into halberds, and you guys can come right up the pipe as well. So we'll go ahead and move the Slan up a little bit and cast the Aura Pretzels. And we're also going to attack Balthazar Gelt. So this guy can start shooting into the back into some of the halberds. We don't have too many like good dinosaurs for him, so the Aura Pretzel is going to hit everyone right there. We're going to keep this going, and we'll pull you guys back. And the Cold One Knights, I mean, we might as well use them to charge here, so we're going to go ahead and just do this and get you guys going here, and we'll have you guys charge into the front for now. Great, so let's switch on to some of these targets. The Pterodon Riders, we obviously don't want to chase them onto the ground, so we're going to go ahead and cast Bronus Time Warp on this little pocket here, which is good. So the cav units, just kind of hammering, just having a good old time charging into infantry, which is always fun, and yeah, we were able to kind of pull back here. So the Legion, we don't need to kind of scoot them forward in any particular rush. Pterodon Riders are going to be taking some fire from the Pistoliers. Salamander, just kind of keep working on the infantry because he's pretty cost effective there. The Blood Statuette of Spite, we can drop it here on to the Sons of Sigmar because we're really grinding those guys out pretty bad. Great, so the Red Crested Skinks, let's pull those guys back. Let's pull all of these guys back. And actually, I'm going to go for a pressure play on the Pistoliers. Have you attack Gelt again. And how are we doing against the back line here? Looks like our stuff's doing pretty well for itself. Get you guys attacking them. And the Blueberry Slan is actually getting hit by something. So is this a Footlord? Oh, it is a Footlord. Okay, so the Slan is getting a little bit of damage here. So we're going to pull the Red Crested Skink to kind of deal with that guy. So let's get our Cav kind of out and around here. Salamander is still just shooting in. Still having a good old time. And there's going to be some damage coming in. So let's pop a shield of old ones there to kind of prevent some of that. Banishment as well. There is a Spearman pocket here, which is pretty good. So we're going to see if we can kind of get through some of those guys. Bounce Fire is pretty even at this point. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get a fat overcasted net on these guys right now. I think we're a little bit out of range, so let's actually like feign and pretend like we're not going to go in until the Song can get in position to net those guys. Let's do this, and let's pull these guys under here, get ready for a charge. Balthazar Kelt's actually taking a little bit of work. And yeah, so we should be able to hit those guys right now. So no, not quite yet. So let's chase. Let's get the Salamander shooting at the Halberds again. Source can go ahead and push forward here. And we actually got some really good damage there in the front. Okay, so the grind is going. The grind is going indeed. We're going to pull these guys back. Let's just have them start melting on some of these guys for now. And we can pull some of these Red Crested Skinks to fight here. Source can go fight here. And I feel like the battle's going well. It's actually kind of hard to tell, to be honest. Let's just pop this for the hell of it, because we're probably going to forget. Barona's Time Warp over here is really going to be super good. Yeah, and we'll just kind of beat on some of these Flagellants for a moment. Geld Daddy's actually having some problems. The Pistoliers forced off again. And now we should be able to get a fat net right on these guys, which is going to be really good. No. Yes, target them. So now we're going to get the net. That's going to be really good and tasty. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, great. So now we're going to get that full charge into those guys, which is going to be really good. We're still fighting across the entire front board. Seems like most of our troops are having a good old time. And here we get that nice attack, which is going to be really brutal. So the Banana Slan just fighting against some of these guys right here. We can pop a Blood Statuette to help out a little bit. And the Salamander can just get in and try and snipe the Witch Hunter now. Witch Hunter's actually got nerfed a little bit. They don't have the same combat parameters as before. Great, so yeah, we got pretty much all the Pistoliers off. I think we can actually chase those guys off the map. And we're going to finish them off. We have this guy going after the... so Sally, we can pull Sally back and just go chase off Scraps right now. We have some Red Crested Skinks who actually, let's pull them back. We don't need them to fight Flagellants. We can just try and tear out these guys. Great. Great. Everything's going good over here. Everything's going to code. So we can have you guys, one of you guys chase and the other one can come back. We don't need all of those assets over there. And great. Our Saurus are just doing a number on this Empire front line here. Salamander. Is he attacking with Balthazar Geld? Damn, that is ballsy. So we're going to pull the Sally back. There's no point to let it like just die on its own over there. Let's pull you guys back. Okay, he's getting a bombardment here, so let's pull here, let's pull here, let's pull here. And it looks like the Flagellants are doing a pretty decent little job there. Now we can just pile back in if we want. And we have some Cav units here who can potentially go kill this guy. Yes, good. And we'll pop. We have a banishment too, which is going to be useful. But we still have Saurus infantry are just so durable. Those guys are just like just meaty ass unit. So let's go on the Pistoliers here. We'll get the Salamander going after the Witch Hunter. We'll cast the Barona's Time Warp right here, which is going to hit like a ton of our troops. We can actually recharge in there. Salamander should be able to kill that guy. We'll bring these guys to bodyguard the Slan. Great. Alright, so Balthazar Gelt has the Duel of the Ages here, but we're killing that Witch Hunter. So now we're going to come attack Balthazar Gelt in the back with our Cav units. Yes, get the Witch Hunter. Got him! Oh damn, he got back up in the skies. Okay, so we'll just pull the Cav over there to deal with him. We still have a lot of utility on our abilities here, which is good. These are Halberdiers, they're shaken. So let's go ahead and drop it right there on those guys, the Blood Statuette, and just get all these guys piling in. Should be able to tear out them real quick. We'll switch back here. He's attacking again there, but we'll keep the Salamander finishing off the Witch Hunter. I mean, Slans are pretty thick. They're not pushovers, so we'll pop the Aura Pretzel to make ourselves a little bit tankier. He does have a lot of Flagellants coming over on the far side. He keeps getting back up in the sky right as I'm doing that. 100% need to finish off the Witch Hunter, so let's go ahead and reform ranks here. Finish off the Flagellants here. We can have the Toad can come over and do his thing. Alright, so we're doing good. It's a close game for sure. I think we're going to pull it out though. Maybe not. I like how all of us are just reform ranks. Let's get some of these Golden Riders over there because Gelt's going to try and go for the cookie jar. Get you guys going in there, and yeah, so that's fine. I mean, I don't mind the Salamander fighting Gelt actually, especially with some help. And we don't have enough for a net, I don't think. We're going to try and net him right now. Get that juicy net. Salamanders aren't pushovers. Yeah, this is an exhibition match. I'm just playing the winner of the qualifier right now. The winner of the Grand Champion. Oh no, don't net, don't net. Bad Salon, bad. Okay, good, we canceled it. Whew. We have that pit fight over here. We'll drop the Shield of the Old Ones on, why did that knock off? Drop it. He wants to fight the Toad, huh? You want to fight the Toad, you get the horns, man. Or you get the gelatinous, disgusting form. So that's good. These red-crested skinks can just chase this guy, or actually just go fight some of these spearmen. The red-crested skinks have been really solid, like, this whole game. And yeah, we're still chasing these pistoliers into the Shadow Realm. That was a bit of a mistake, but it's okay. So Sally and company are coming in now. We're going to do a charge. We're going to actually drop a banishment, and then we're going to pull back right now. So have you chase them. Do we have any troops we can bring back here? Oh, we do have some skinks, little skinky cohorts. So we do a little bit of cycle charging, a little bit of meme in here. It's not actually memeing. So let's drop Barona's Time Warp, Blood Statue of Spite on these guys. That's really going to make our troops quite strong. We're chasing off his captain over there, which is good. Alright, so the halberds are still going pretty strong here. I should probably pull back a little bit and go finish off some of these guys. I don't want to like sit and fight halberds, obviously. Oh, it looks like we broke him. Okay, that's fine. And we got some dudes coming back to help out. Let's get them over here. The Gelt Daddy's coming in. The Helicone trying to scrap it out. Alright, so what do we have? I think we have some other abilities. We have the Aura Pretzel, which is going to be good. GG! GG, man. My lovely, hot, awesome wife, Lady Turin, is here. Everyone say hello. Oh! Well played, man. Well played. It's like when El Halcon and I play, we always go like 50-50 with all of our games. Alright. Lizardmen. Alright. So, on that note, guys, I should probably rest the old paw. Big congratulations to El Halcon. He has carved his name into the tablet of Tehenwin with a victory. Oh, wrong screen. With a victory. Wrong screen again. It's the tablet. So Zyphos qualified the first week. Today, El Halcon did qualify, not dropping a single game the entire tournament. And yeah. No, I should stop, guys. My hands are actually hurting. I was just playing for fun at the end. Just showcase matches every night. Like sometimes after tournaments, if I have a little bit of strength left, I'll go for it. So, yeah, she's on her way home right now. But I'd like to take a moment to sincerely thank all you guys for dropping by today. I really do appreciate everyone hanging out. We got some generous donations, of course, from Cincinnati of VA with the 20, Air Jeezy 1995 with the 2, Snyder with the 5. We got Mr. Redalek, greetings from Poland, Yakshe Mash. Jankuya for the donation. Philip from Poland as well. Jankuya. Weberus Maximus with the 5. Garrett Rashford, Spirit of the Gorg. I don't know why that name's so awesome, Spirit of the Gorg. I have to look up what the Gorg is. Suff for $2. Thank you again. Magic D for multiple donations, 20 and 10. Tiamat 64, King Ajazal. And then we had a couple on PayPal as well from Victor, as well as Tobias. So you guys, man, you guys rocked it today. Thank you so much for supporting this ECL and the format and everything. It's always a good time. Oh no, Fly on Bread, I usually, and some of the folks that have been in it so far generally have messaged me ahead of time, but I'm going to just start putting messages up in the Discord and everything. So just let me know. So yeah, if you guys want to see the bracket of today, for anyone joining late, Lumberjacks and Gobble King won that 2-0 in very close games. They were great. A-Move Hacker was also 2-0'd by El Halcon, and then El Halcon went on to win 2 games against Gobble King. He won the 3rd game, but there was a minor rules break of about 100 or 200 gold overinvested in a single target. So we then asked Gobble King if he wanted to run the game back, but he had some personal stuff to take care of, and he was fine. So El Halcon did take that. So he's gonna do it. So yeah, it was a great series. Awesome stuff. Big congratulations to him. GG's, man. Congrats on qualifying. And yeah, we're going to be out for today. So thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate all your support. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the Eternal Challenger League. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.